16 Sunday. But even though the news is light right now in the NFL, you got to hang out. You just can't stop talking football. But you know what? We got stung because here's the fact: Robbie Gould. See, it hasn't hit us yet. Okay, we're gonna be sitting in front of the game somewhere during the course of the season. Oh man, he's got to make this. He's got to make this, or we lose. 49ers got a new kicker, blah blah blah, and he's trotting out on the field. Doesn't remind you, and then see the announcer doesn't remind you a lot of Robbie Gould. He's coming out there looking just a little bit stressed, as Robbie would walk out of the field with a drink in his hand and a joint and kick you a 45-yard field goal. See that, and then the guy's going to come out there and we're going to sit there and say, "Oh man, that was only a 30-yarder too." See, for people to say, "Well, I guess we just got to score a lot of touchdowns," that doesn't work. It's never worked for any team ever. You got to have your kicker, or else it's going to be a problem. We'll see. Maybe the guy we get is going to be good. Maybe it's going to be some rookie that just comes in and kicks butt. Because let's get into this. I'll tell you, there's some angles on here as to what. Farewell, Robbie. Hall of Famer all the way, baby. Good luck. Niners kicker extraordinaire, Robbie Gould, just celebrated his 40th birthday in December. But a few members, if any, of the Niner faithful, have you been concerned with Robbie's age? As long as that ball is going up between the uprights, 35, 45. Didn't Robbie drop a 50 on us this past? Robbie G has Hall of Fame written all over him. I'm not sure if he's used all the way up yet. One of the NFL kicking elites won't be with the Niners for the upcoming 2023 season, and that pretty much, and I know Brian said Robbie's not going anywhere. It's kind of been announced already, Bryant. Robbie's even said the same, said his goodbyes. I mean, I wish I want to stay on the same page as you. Robbie, please don't go. Robbie, please don't go. Robbie, please don't go. Robbie, please don't go. Now, I'm singing it, man. So tonight, I'm going to go to the phones for your response after going over some of the rationale behind giving about why Robbie Gould won't be suiting up for the Niners in the upcoming 2023 season. Call-in info is right down at the base of the screen. As you'll notice, you got the phone number, you got the PIN number, you'll need all that. Get it right on in here and tell us how you feel about that. Van, where were you, though, when you heard – this is what you say when you hear a disastrous take. Where were you when you heard the news from ESPN's Adam Schefter reporting yesterday, Saturday, that kicker Robbie Gould would be testing free agency and will not return to the Niners after 6 years with San Francisco? Remember, the Bears cut Robbie loose for reasons unknown. After a few seasons, as did the Giants, but only after one season. So all this took place just before Coach Shanahan was sharp enough to swoop up Gould on his way to take over the 49ers back in 2017. Now, you can be mad about Kyle about a lot of things, but you can't be mad at him about that. That was a good move. Robbie arguably had his best 2 seasons in 2017 and 18 before turning into an extremely consistent option in the postseason. Straight money. The man's heart pumps ice water. Games on the line. Playoffs. Robbie Gould trots out on the field. You start celebrating right now. Bam! Oh, hell yeah. I always believed he was going to do it, and he always did. Robbie will turn 40 this season, which is probably one of the reasons the 49ers Niners about to sign any long deals with Robbie G. John Lynch acknowledged that the Niners were looking at kickers at the combine while awaiting a decision from Gould. But why he said that, I'm not sure. Because Lynch told NBC Bay Area Sports earlier this week at the NFL scouting combine, quote, "We're not done with that. Part of the whole Robbie situation is we got to do our work here, and you want to give Robbie as much time to pivot as possible." Pivot? John, were you speaking of maybe he could go see if he could find something else and get that going? Or, well, pivot to what? You went into the combine. You told him anybody with a minute good, I mean, if you're in there telling him he's going to be in the combine, we're going to make up minds after that. You're looking around for a kicker. Of course you are. He goes on to say, but we have to do our evaluations here. Unquote. Robbie G has entered the agency after his entering free agency after his 4-year, $19 million extension concluded at the end of the 2022 season, and will look for a new home for the first time in 6 years. Why the move makes sense for the Niners? Despite Robbie being most likely a Hall of Fame kicker, if for no other reason than his significant postseason success. John, I'm trying to make sense of this. You couldn't even sign into a 1-year deal. Sign a 1-year contracts. Maybe go for that. And if he looks like he's fading, okay. But I doubt he drops off the cliff just immediately. And we're talking about a kicker that has been a perfect 29 for 29 on field goals in the postseason, which is the most in playoff history. Time has finally called on Robbie in a way that a long-term deal would be irresponsible on the Niners' part. That's the way they're thinking. Robbie has actually seen a decline in play over the past 4 seasons, converting just 81.7% of his opportunities since 2019, while his range has diminished as well as his age increases. Okay. That's a drop-off. No, you can't deny that, because also Robbie has struggled with touchbacks. He's only 43.8% of his kickoffs in the back of the end zone. Now, I always thought he was doing that on purpose. I kept saying, Robbie, put it. I hadn't thought for a moment that Robbie just couldn't put it back there. The fact is, that fact has contributed to some of the Niners' special teams issues over that stretch, according to some. That being said, still the biggest reason it makes sense, financials. Yeah. The Niners franchise tagged Robbie in 2019 to keep him in San Francisco before rewarding him with the 4-year, $19 million extension, making him one of the highest paid kickers over the period of time. He was worth it. He was worth every damn dime of it. Now, with the Niners in a tight spot with their salary cap, it makes sense to move on and find a cheaper cost-controlled option in the NFL draft, allowing the team to utilize the extra cap space elsewhere to fill the roster. Niners, you know what? Whatever you fill the roster with that money you're saving on Robbie Gould, it better be damn good. Because, here's the thing. If Robbie Gould is gone to, oh, God, I can't even, the thought of it just scares it. Robbie's in Texas in a heartbeat, fam. If he's not in Dallas, which really bothers me, he'll probably go to D'Amico. I don't know what kind of kicker they got in Texas. It seems like they have a good kicker in Texas already. Robbie G will likely command a contract similar to the one he just completed with the 49ers, given his bargaining chip of the $5 million franchise tag, which is likely too costly for the 49ers. It seems the Niners were actually already planning for their departure with John Lynch's confirmation that the team is evaluating kicker options. Anyway, part of the evaluation included looking at incoming rookie kickers at the NFL Scouting Combine. The Niners reportedly met with North Carolina State's Christopher Dunn. Big Show, give me a rundown. I always refer to Show when I'm talking about my boys playing out of college football. Show, help me out here, man. Who is this Christopher Dunn? Are you impressed with him? Do you have faith in him? One of the top kickers in the draft, Matt Barrows of the Atlantic, expects San Francisco to set up workouts for not only Dunn, Michigan's Jake Moody. You're hearing his name a lot, right? Georgia's Jack Podlensky. And others ahead of next month's draft. Dunn only missed one of his 29 field goal attempts for the Wolfpack in 2022 and made each of his 30 extra point attempts. That's college ball. A lot of these guys, what's the name of that guy a few years ago that never missed one field goal or point after in his entire time? And he couldn't make a field goal or a point after attempt when he got to the pros to save his life. Some guys have it in them to do it. Their nerves don't go to crap. To be a field goal kicker takes a certain kind of mentality. You've got to be able to block out anything going around in your head has got to be, it's got to be, all you should see is white or red if you're a kicker. You're going in to get this done. Everybody hasn't got that ability. They don't. That's why they're the mediocre guys, and then there's a Robbie Gould. Niners also met with some other position players at the Scouting Combine. Offensive tackle Jalen Duncan of Maryland. Another OT, Blake Freeland, BYU. They're looking, fam. They're looking. And offensive lineman Nick Saldiveri, Old Dominion. Center Juice Scruggs, Penn State. For all of us to say, got to do something about that offensive line. 49ers are on it. They know as much as we do about that offensive line situation. You can't expect quarterbacks to keep coming in there and staying alive if they're not being protected. We've already proven that beyond a shadow of any doubt. Running back Sean Tucker, Syracuse. Of course, we always get a running back, right? All these player reports per SF Niners. Fam, they're putting trackers of the meetings, so if you've been paying close attention, when you get on tonight, please fill us in on any players you're excited about. Because for those of us who aren't watching college football that closely, we'd love to hear and get excited about something that you feel excited about. Keep in mind, the good guys lack a first or second round pick in next month's draft. You know what? You don't pick up a kicker in the first or second round anyway. These linemen, though, some of the offensive linemen, 49ers should pick them up immediately. Trade up to get one in the second round if you can, Niners. Give up all them third-round picks if you got a blue-chip offensive lineman. Forget the picks. I go to the Rams fight. F the picks. Niners, get me an offensive lineman that you know is going to get the job done. Come on. 3 compensatory picks will come courtesy of the NFL's minority hiring program for coaches or execs hired by other teams to serve as their head coach or general manager. San Francisco is also expected to gain 3 more compensatory selections for the losses of DJ Jones, Arden Key, and K'Wan Williams last offseason. I thought those were already collected last year. I don't know why I thought that. We didn't get that many people, did we, on the draft? Meanwhile, we can feel good for Robbie and wish him the best of luck. Fam, he's been away from his family during his 49ers portion of his career. As we all know, his wife and children live in Chicago. They've been there this whole time. Well, Robbie has been hanging out at the Marriott out here in Cali. With his career coming closer to an end and with the option of hitting the open market, Robbie G could very well look to return closer to home, making it more feasible to be around his family. The Bears, of course, make sense with a reunion, as Gould could be an important veteran piece as the team looks to come out of the gutter and get something going. And it'll be the next step following a poor year. But Robbie, man, don't go to Dallas, man, please. Man, I want to see Dallas to continue to. I love that look on their faces when that kicker goes in there and just out and out, just misses. A big show. I sent my 2020. All right, okay, show. I'll next program we'll go over that. I sent you my 2023 mock draft after the conclusion of the combine. I drafted Jake Moody, kicker out of Michigan. Take a look when you get a chance. I definitely will. I'll post it up, Show. Show is good with the draft and college prospects. I'm telling you. So I believe in him. Anyway, fam, let get you in here. I don't know how interested you are tonight in this situation, but Robbie's pretty serious to my way of thinking. So I said, this is the end of an era for the 49ers on so many levels. Because I don't want to sit there and hold my breath every time. It was so comfortable when Robbie trotted out on the field. You pretty much knew. Every now and then he'd miss it and you get mad. But every now and then we'd be like 5-6 games apart. Maybe you might not see it, but for the last time in week 12 or 11 or 7 or 8 or something. It never happens the rest of the season, all the way into the postseason run, right? So, man, and there's a big show now. Well, it's a big show. Come on in, fam.
What's going on, Ronbo?
Yeah, big show, man. I'm already going through anxieties for a number of reasons about the 49ers going into next season. I'm really nervous about next season to begin with. And then they hit you with the old brick. All of a sudden, I'm laying there half conscious and bam! Robbie Gould what? Oh, man, damn. What are we going to do now? But, Show, what are you thinking here?
I'm not as panicked as you are. Because I'd rather go through the growing pains with our kicker when we first draft him and just put him out there. Yeah. We need an experienced kicker, and Jake Moody is one of those experienced kickers and somebody who also can play in all inclements of weather, given that he played in Michigan for 4 years. And that's a place where the Midwest is a place we're always at in playoffs. So, and it's very cold there, and I'd rather have somebody like that as our new kicker who can handle those types of weather conditions during the playoffs. You know what I mean? So that's why I went Jake Lee as our next kicker out of Michigan. And as far as Christopher Dunn goes, he leads kickers in college football with the most points scored as a kicker with 479. And he's very accurate from 33 yards and beyond. He's just ahead of Jake Moody in that category.
That cold weather thing is important because when you think about Robbie Gould coming out, and it's been pointed out many times, that field goal he kicked in Green Bay year before last, the air, every last ounce of air that ball was going through was weighted, right? So I'm sitting there thinking, there's not a lot of guys who can do that.
And you need to rely on your kickers in that kind of inclement weather. Look at the Patriots and the Bills. I mean, my God, if you've never been to the windows before, the East Coast before on the winter time, it's like 1,000 eels poking at your face. There's no way in hell. Even Aaron Rodgers can't even throw that much in the wintertime like that in January. He knows not to.
Legs are tight.
Because that's a turnover machine game right there.
Yeah.
You know? So, and that's where kickers come in very handy.
Yeah.
And the run game, too.
What was Robbie like coming out of college? You know, I want to make a comparison with.
I don't remember. That's a long time.
I got to go back and find that because the thing is, kickers coming out of school, you always see these huge props and accolades being given kickers, or any football player period coming out of college, and some come in and it translates to dividends at the pro level, and some come in and they just melt. I was telling you, there's a Latino kid that came out years ago. He never missed a thing.
Is it Blake Gonzalez?
Is that him?
That you're talking about?
And he came in and he couldn't get he could not get a kick to go through the uprights where there's a point after death. And I said, dude, that whoever gets him before the draft started, that's gold. He couldn't kick a field goal at the pro level. He couldn't kick a point after. I said, wow.
Yeah. In my mock draft that I had mentioned to you in the comment section, I'm not touching our defense. Our defense is straight. They're first in every single category. I believe we're gonna bring back a lot of our defensive linemen. John Lynch has already indicated that he has a lot of confidence in Javon Kimball this coming 2023 season, so I don't think he's going anywhere. So I pretty much just short up the offense, which is what we need help with, especially the offensive line from center on right. You know what I mean? Like, I'm tired of our quarterbacks going down every year. Right now, it feels like we're dating quarterbacks and we're not married to one just yet. You know?
Right. No, it does look like that. I see another quarterback being drafted. 49ers, if it's a fourth round, I suspect at the least. The 49ers, now it's going to become a habit. They got Brock Purdy as the last guy in the draft, right? Now I don't see that happening a lot, but they're going to get another one.
Look for the kid out of UCLA. I believe let me check his name really quick. I think it's Dorius Thompson Robinson or something like that. Don't quote me on his name. He's out of UCLA. He's a day 3 pick.
So what do you see attractive about him?
He's athletic and he plays under center and he's very mobile. And he's pretty accurate. So he'd be a good backup. He's not like a starter or anything like that.
Yeah, that's what CJ
He's not starting quality. Yeah, pretty much.
And the 49ers are always, I think it's going to be a trend now. CJ Beathard was brought in.
Yeah, it's Dorian Thompson Robinson out of UCLA, the quarterback. Keep an eye on him.
Right. Because Richardson is gone in the first round.
Oh, definitely. But I'd rather tank for Williams next year. So you know me, I'm ready to marry a quarterback for the next 10 years. I'm tired of this carousel every single year. It's beginning to get beyond ridiculous. Like it's just frustrating not having an answer at quarterback.
Right. Every year since 2017.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's gotten tiresome. It really has. Every year.
So I'd rather just build up the offense for Caleb Williams next year, shore up the offensive line, and just tank, like stay competitive, just tank for him. I'm okay with that, and everyone else should be too, because we don't have an answer for the next 10 years at quarterback right now, and that's the god awful truth. We need to be truthful with ourselves here. So
Yeah, well, show you know the thing we haven't had any. Okay, Trace came out and played 5 minutes of football since he's been with the 49ers, right? So we have no idea what his capability is. Brock Purdy came in and he gave you a little bit of a glimpse of what he's capable of doing.
Let's be
Boom,
real, though. The Brock
five
Purdy
more
was just a
minutes.
Cinderella story. Brock Purdy was a Cinderella story whose teams had no tape on him.
Yeah,
Come on.
but the point
Let's
is,
be fair. Let's be real with ourselves.
the point is, guys have
And
got
we
to
don't know
keep.
how he's going to. Yeah, we don't know how he's going to be with that shoulder,
Oh yeah,
shoulder surgery.
exactly my point.
So
We can't
inside of
get
the question
a
marks, we
sampler.
can't keep going. Yeah, that's exactly why you need to shore up that offensive line. So it's a no-brainer. That's what our first 3 picks need to be. Our first. Yeah. I mean, it's beginning to be ridiculous this year.
Drafts to be as aggressive about offensive linemen as they were defensive linemen. I want a new one every year. All right, get the best. And if we got a first-round pick next year, he's going to be used for an offensive lineman. Absolutely. You know, Trent Williams has got 2 more seasons at him, probably at a high level, and then he's going to consider leaving.
That's why I picked. I was taking Blake Freeland with 99th pick out of BYU. He led all the offensive linemen in the highest vertical jump at 37 inches. He's a freakish athlete. You need to check him out. So
he won't be available.
Yeah, he might be a day 3 pick. I don't know. Yeah. So, all right. That's kind of my 2 cents into the situation. And, don't panic. Don't panic.
You know,
we don't have a quarterback right now, so there's no reason to panic. I mean,
that's the thing that scares you. Who's going to quarterback? How are they going to look? Is the offense going to look the same? You know, it's a worrisome thought.
All right, fam. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to the TNT fam. All right, take care, fam. All right, good night.
Joe. Thanks, fam. 49 Brian, hey, I love the hat. Kick Young Montana out due to racism comments. No place for that in the chat. Young Montana, don't give me an excuse to say goodbye to you because we look at you now as an anti-49er fan anyway. Watch it. Don't let me catch it. Young Montana, why is everybody saying that? Isolate it if you can find it. Young Montana, I'm telling you, I got 0 tolerance for you. Watch it. Hey, there it is. It's Chill Pill Phil.
Wow, it's rarely I get to follow Big Show.
Don't you love that? And usually, I don't see him on the phone, but Papa Dragon loves to come in behind you. You guys got this. You and Pop got this thing going. Pop likes to rebuttal.
He grabs me, but you know what? To say we don't have a quarterback, I disagree.
Okay, elaborate.
I disagree. You know, I think we have quarterbacks in our stable. And I think both Trey and, we were all convinced Trey was the guy last year. He was starting. Everybody, all of these people. Yeah, and then he got injured in the second game.
Yep.
And Jimmy came back. And then Brock Purdy showed up.
Mm-hmm.
And I am confident that Brock Purdy's surgery is going to be fine. These doctors these days are far better than they used to be. Yeah. And so, yeah, we've got 2 quarterbacks under a rookie contract. What I'm worried about is the rest of the roster.
Speaking of the offensive line, I imagine. From center
line,
right.
Defensive line, the depth, safety. We've got some problems we got to fill. I don't know where Brock is on these contract renegotiations. And that's what worries me. If one guy says, I don't want to do it, then you're in trouble. So, yeah, that's the way the NFL is.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a lot of cap casualties because we're not in the worst shape as far as cap goes.
That's true. We
There
always
are
look at
about
ourselves
17 teams that are
that are
worse than us.
Yeah.
So, Robbie is just one example of it. But, the other thought about Robbie, he wasn't reaching the end zone on his kickoffs.
Yeah. Time.
And that's why he got hurt twice.
Yeah.
Because he had to make tackles.
That's true.
On kick returns. And the other thing is, he can't kick the long ones. And so, I think there's a lot of kickers in this draft, although we're going to have to use a draft pick to get a kicker. So, I think the guy from Michigan that Big Show mentioned is Mosley, I think his name is. Moody. I think he's a really good kicker, but can he perform in clutch situations?
That's the bottom line.
We'll find out.
And also, is he going to be available in the 49ers? Are they going to pick him? He's probably going to go in the – everybody knows the 49ers want to get a kicker. They're going to grab Moody.
Probably 5th round. Kickers don't go
so?
until – yeah, most teams have a kicker.
If I got to –
except for true. Dallas.
Yeah. Dallas, they pick in front of us, Phil.
No, they'll pick up Robbie. So
probably. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, Ronbo, we got to use a draft choice on the kicker. But although Robbie's not out of the picture officially yet, although the talk is like he is, but Jimmy was out of the picture last year. So, you never know.
Not with the 49ers. If he can't get a deal done, maybe he comes back to 49ers and said, Robbie, can we offer you a 1-year deal? Is that acceptable?
No. The Niners want to sign him for like $4 million. He wants like $6 million. So
I know, Robbie. Why would you do that?
That's the difference.
God, Rob.
Everybody wants to make as much money as they want as they can.
I know, but you got to look at your worth.
You never know.
Point, a few years ago, he was worth it more than that. But come on now, he should be happy with.
But he was 30. He was 36 at the time. Now he's 41.
Right. Well, he's 40. He just had his 40th birthday in December. But
40,
the thing is,
he's going to be 41
next year. He has birthday.
Anyway,
December 6th is his birthday.
It's almost time we need to move on to a new kicker, as long as he's good.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I need a guy that produces out there, not just because he's younger. He's got to be good.
Right. And we've got a few spots to fill, right tackle, center on offense. And we've got safety, depth on defense is a big question mark, especially on defensive line. We're short there. But we got to wait until after free agency to see what we're going to draft.
Well, we got a couple of weeks.
Once free agency hits and rolls, which is in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
We'll know what Brock Purdy's surgery goes through. We'll know who we sign on free agency.
And then the swelling's gone down, yeah.
Draft will fill the rest of it.
Yeah. Well, Phil, you don't have a lot of funding for the free agency, like you're saying, until they tell people, listen, we're not going to pick up your contract. We'll just go ahead and tell you.
Well, I think the Niners know because they're doing contract negotiate. They just don't announce it until right before the draft. That's the way the Niners work. So they may have some contracts already negotiated. We just don't know how much money they have. Yeah. Seriously. And so, it's a guessing game. And the Niners are pretty secret about this stuff. So,
aren't they? Cloak and dagger all the way to draft day.
All the way, but I think that's a good thing.
It is.
Honestly, they don't want teams to know what they got.
That's true.
So, let's just wait and see. I think that's the key. Patience right now.
Because they do seem to do things kind of right, even though a lot of us won't admit it. But usually, whatever they do is the only alternatives they had, and usually the best options. Usually, of course, that's a 97% thing, but still, for the most part, they're doing the right things usually.
Well, let's put it this way: they've got the division wrapped up with the players they already have under contract.
That's true.
Seriously,
I know. Okay, we need to wait and see what the Seahawks do, though. I was
going
shocked by
after
their what
Lombardi.
they did last year.
I don't worry about the Seahawks. Oh, come on.
Yeah,
We beat them 3 times.
I know. I want that to continue. I mean, the thing is, I don't want them. Oh, Hawks came back and got the Niners for old time's sake.
Seahawks 3 times in 1 year.
Kind of makes up for a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Anyway, Ronbo,
one of the only things that makes me
I
laugh.
just think we just got to be patient. The next few weeks is going to tell the story. Then we're going to talk, and we're going to figure out what's going on as far as the draft goes, and then we'll see where our team is.
Yeah,
So
that's all we can do.
we'll find out about Brock's surgery. If he comes out okay and the doctor says, hey, everything's cool, and he's going to come back, then we got a competition between Trey and Brock, and we're good in the quarterback room.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
relax.
Yeah. Trying. Taking sedatives and things like that, and hitting that heavy bag as much as I can. Yeah, I'll be okay. Just don't tell me
Anyway,
Josh Johnson's
Ronbo,
going to be anywhere in the neighborhood when we're talking about quarterbacks. I don't want to see that again.
I mean,
well, he can play the practice
obviously,
squad.
we got to get a kicker now. We got to draft a quarterback. I think we'll draft a quarterback, but not in the early round. When I say early, third.
Yeah.
I think we'll get an offensive
the 49ers ready
lineman,
rounds.
defensive lineman, maybe
Yeah.
a safety, and then we'll go in the 5th round. We'll probably get a quarterback. We'll probably get a kicker, and then after that, best man on the board.
A running back, Phil. Watch the 49ers. They're looking at a running back at the combine. At Niners. You don't need to look at any running backs. God.
No running backs. We got a full stable of running backs.
And
I hate it when these people talk about running backs. We got
honestly,
we
they
got
can find him.
PMC. We got some guys in that stable. 4 guys that can all start. So
Mitchell
no
just can't
running
stay
backs.
healthy. That him and McCaffrey would probably be the best 1-2 punch in NFL if he could just stay on the field. And then you got Jordan Mason, who does not get enough running time. Who else do we have? Oh, TDP, who they won't let play, probably because he doesn't block well.
But I think he's going to grow. Relax.
Yeah.
We're good at running backs. No running backs.
Yeah.
No wide receiver.
Phil, I'll take it. I'll make a small wager with you right now. There will be a running back, either the UDFA or about round 5.
No. Unrestricted free agency? Yes.
Yeah.
That's where you get running backs.
You got
And the
Mitchell on
Niners
the 5th.
have excelled at that.
Mm-hmm.
But not in the draft.
Yeah.
No.
I'm telling you. 5th or 6th round, Phil. Running back. Watch. Hey, Phil, there's a lot of tight ends. There's a lot of tight ends in this draft now. This year is tight end rich.
Go offensive lineman, defensive lineman, tight end in our 3rd round.
Yeah. Since we got that many picks
It's a real deep tight end class.
Yeah.
And we could put dual tight end. We've never had this before, where we've had Kittle and somebody equivalent.
Yeah.
Think about that.
I did see a few tight ends.
Which would help the running game too.
Yeah, and I said, there's a lot of tight ends, 49ers. And that's probably why Ross Dwell and some of these other guys might not be returning next year because the 49ers know this is a tight end rich draft this year. So they're probably looking to pick up a couple.
There's some tight ends in there that can do blocking and receiving and, become a deep threat. So I would say tight end was going to be one of the picks we pick in the 3rd round.
Oh. Yeah. Could be.
And then kicker
yeah.
in the 5th, and then whatever, best man available.
I forgot, though. You're right. Everybody has a kicker. You're not going to use a draft pick for a kicker. The 49ers probably have their choice of any one of these guys that are supposedly good. Yeah, I'm okay. I feel good about that already.
And you know what? If we can get a kicker under a rookie contract, we got him for 4 years, and then go from there. I mean, if he's good, you got him nailed under $700,000-$800,000 contract instead of paying these guys $5 million. So
if he's good at that price, just promise him the whole time. Listen, you got a big payday coming at the end of your contract. You know that, don't you? Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, we're gonna find out.
All right, Ronbo.
All right, great to hear from you as usual. And you always have those consoling things.
We'll see what happens. That's what's going to happen. I mean,
all righty.
I trust our management.
Yeah.
That's the one thing.
Yeah.
They've done well.
Yeah, they have. We don't give them enough credit.
Built rosters.
True. Very true. They're football guys. That's why. Unlike Trent Baalke, who I'm not sure what he is.
I heard Trent on Florida's show, man. I go, who's that voice? I could hear it over the TV. Oh, my God.
The Trent BS us as he always did. All right, Phil. I'll see you. All right, I'll be back Wednesday. All right.
Okay.
Night, Phil.
Talk to you later.
All
right, bye.
Bye. I don't like to talk about Trent Baalke in a very negative fashion, but let's face it. It was a hopeless year every year when Trent Baalke came out and started talking the kind of trash he talked. Hey, Nigel.
Hey, what's up, Ronbo?
Nigel, man, we're sitting here and we're watching an era, segue to what we don't know. You see a guy like Robbie Gould who's very instrumental in most of our success, if not all of it. And
pretty crazy, huh?
Yeah, there's other names that are, and their time has run out. I understand there's going to be a turnover with players. It's just it's kind of a nervous. You've been confident in these guys for a long time, and now we got to rebuild our confidence with some new guys that may or may not work out. That's Nigel. What are you thinking? Because that's that freaks me out. What are you thinking?
Oh man, it's pretty. I think that. I'm kind of with. There's times where I listen to your buddy there, Chill Pill Phil, and there's some things I don't agree with, but I agree with him on this one. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't necessarily this show that he was talking about it, but the last show. And I agree with him. And sometimes with a guy like Robbie Gould, when they're kind of the ace in the deck that you're always going to pull, you gotta sign those type of guys. But Robbie, he's a really good kicker. He's 40 years old though. He's up there in the age, and he wants to see what's out there for him. Yeah. And I just hope he don't go to the Chiefs. That's all I hope he don't go to do. But
the Chiefs have a good.
I think we can. I think we can end up finding somebody that can kick consistently for us. But he's a really good kicker, and it's going to be kind of sad to see him go because he's been with us for a few years now, and he's won some big games for us. But it is what it is. Yeah. My thing is though, Ronbo, I think that, and we all know this, it's nothing new. We got to get the offensive line right. We got to get the quarterback position right, and we got to make sure that those are two positions that are solidified. Because
and we're not looking to fix it every year. I get to say every year. Looking forward to the 49ers. The unstable quarterback situation in the 49ers is probably the only thing. Their defense is going to be the mainstay of their team. But in the meantime, the offensive line unit and the quarterback situation remains in flux. I'm saying, shut up! I don't want to hear it. But you have to. It's true.
That's what sucks, Ronbo. That's what sucks for us because it seems like the last three, it doesn't seem like it is the truth. The last 3 of the 4 years, we've been in the top 4 of the league. We've been either in the Super Bowl or the NFC Championship game. Yes. And the only question that always comes up is the quarterback position, but also within the fan base, we know the offensive line has always been a question as well. And even at the beginning of this season, we all knew, Ronbo, and even on your show, we talked about it. The weakest point that we feel like has been on this team was either some people would think the quarterback, some people would think the offensive line. One way or the other.
They work hand in hand. So
right.
Usually, one's always going to affect the other anyway, right? So
and we all know that. We all know that our defense has carried us a majority of the time as far as when Kyle Shanahan has been here. And the reason we've been in a lot of games was because of our defense. We've had a top 3 defense how many years out of the last 6 years? I mean,
even if it's not top 3, we're always one of the best. I mean, top 10. Even that year that we lost that defensive line, 29. What year was that we didn't have all the blue chip players? Nick was out. And the 49ers still did a great job on defense. I was so proud of them.
Yep, 2020, 2021. Yeah, we had, who was it? Kerry Hyder, who was our leading sack leader that year. I mean, it feels like it's always our freaking defense that keeps us in the game, and our offense is always the part that we question. And I know that we've had consistent play out of the defense, but it's time that I think we gotta look at it and be like, we put money into the defensive backs. Shavarius Ward.
And he did a good job.
We got Fred Warner. We got Nick Bosa. So we've got a blue chip player at all levels of the defense. I mean, our safeties, they're not the greatest. Of course, we got Talanoa Hufanga, who's young. He's still up and coming. He's doing good. Yeah. Gibson he's not been,
remember,
the greatest
that's
safety in the league, but yeah, there you go. He knows how to he has a nose for the ball, and he can make he can turnovers is what he's there for. So we've got a good enough defense, in my opinion. And of course, you can't always be like just neglecting that. Of course, they're going to go after defensive players, defensive linemen and stuff like that. But what I think we got to really focus on is our offensive line. Yeah. I mean, period. That's the one thing, and we all know that, Ronbo. You know that.
We sing a song about it every year. At the same time, we're putting out that hit record. Offensive line, please. So, Nigel, we're going to go. I'll tell you what, we're going to see you midweek. Before we're trying to see if we get East Coast people in this time because we're always late. But today we're kind of better. But Nigel, good stuff. Appreciate it. All right.
Yeah, no problem, Ronbo. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for taking my call, man.
Always appreciated. Thanks, Nigel.
Yep, bye.
It's funny. GB Bull points out something, and I have been saying this for a while too, but now I'm starting to think now. It's one thing about having a quarterback that's good or bad, but it's another thing altogether if he's just completely removed from the equation, and then you bring somebody else in the middle of the season, right? Because GB Bulls points out Rams have had 3 number 1 quarterbacks, and they got 1 championship. See, there is something to be said about that, and I've always made that argument. I said, you know what? Getting a quarterback is to carry the load completely, be fully responsible for success or failure on a team. That is bull crap. That's why I like Kyle Shanahan football. Kyle, specifically, the quarterback has a job to do, yes. But every last guy out there contributes to the offensive prowess of that team. But the quarterback can't be going in and out all week. I mean, every year, 2 and 3 times, switching. Trey would have worked out. From the first week, we don't know. Obviously, Jimmy worked out. Obviously, that Brock, they had success. You can't win 5, 6, 7, 8 games in a row without calling that some kind of success, right? So, but you can't remove these people in the middle of the season. So, That's why when we talk about offensive line, you got to keep one out there that says, oh, come hell or high water, I'm going to take it personally to make sure that that quarterback makes it to week 17 and into the playoffs. You know? Because, fam, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, you get any big blue chip Hall of Famer you want back there, he'll take them shots. He'll go down just like everybody else. GB Vool, awesome point. Yo, Ellis.
Ron Bizzle.
Ellis. So I'm saying, as I said, we're still crying about, Robbie Gould leaving. Because we already have enough to think about. And then they just sell us. Robbie, we're not bringing Robbie back. And there's some good reasons not to bring him back. I understand that. This is a business. We don't want a guy whose leg is going out on him because he's 40 years old. We don't want a guy that can't reach the back of the end zone anymore because that's a telltale sign that maybe his time is up. You can't give him a multi-year contract because if he can't reach the end zone, back of the end zone this year, he for sure isn't going to reach the back of the end zone at 43, right? So, but Ellis, what do you do about this matter? You got to go get a rookie now because they don't want to spend any money on a kicker. So anybody else is good that's running around, they ain't going to sign him. Okay, I'm done. I'm done crying. Ellis, help me. Let me give me something to wipe my eyes with. Go ahead, Ellis. I'm listening. What do you got? What do you got on your mind? I'm going through this every damn year.
Well,
it's a quarterback now. It's a kicker. What's going on about that? All right, Rams are watching.
These are the Braves. Break it up, break it up, break it up. And there ain't shit we can do about it, Bo.
No.
There's a lot of.
It's helpless.
It's gonna, Yeah, it can only get worse, man. I'm still not looking forward to Jimmy Ward being gone.
I know, right? I stopped thinking about that because that was bothering me.
There's just no guarantees. Who's going to cover on the slot? If we got Diamador Lenore playing on the outside, on the other side of Charvarius,
I don't want Mosley in the slot.
We'll have E-Man. Yeah, we'll have E-Man, but he's going to be coming off a very serious injury, so he might not be, who he was before he got the injury. It usually doesn't happen like that.
And he's better than outside anyway.
Jimmy Ward's come from some, yeah. Well, yeah. So then Demo would be playing at the slot, but I like Jimmy Ward better at the slot. I like Jimmy Ward better at safety than the guys we got right now. So I'm just saying we're going to see there's going to be some differences in the production next year. Then we got a new defensive coordinator. These are things we just got to prepare ourselves mentally, and emotionally for, and with the hopes that we'll find some way to compensate for those missing pieces that we won't have anymore, because there was a lot of consistency, a lot of just overall the scope of the secondary looked better than it may look initially next year, because Hufanga gets beat, get deep in man coverage. He's got to come up. We're banking on him getting better, which he had a really great season this past year. But we saw he got burned on some big plays. He gave up some big plays last year. Mm. So, maybe Wilkes will help enhance that.
I'm looking for Wilkes to make some adjustments in his play. I'm hoping that helps. Big Show points out we got Womack or Thomas battled out for the slot position. Womack did very well for us. We forget about Ambry Thomas. I always forget about him. I didn't want to. He was my child of great expectation coming into last season. And Demo beat him out.
We haven't seen shit from Ambry. Yeah, we haven't seen anything from Ambry except for him running around on special teams. So that's the downside.
Well, also, the other safety we picked up a few years ago.
Hi, Sean.
No, he played a little bit last year.
Tavarius more.
I thought Tavarius is going to be the shiznit, and they got him on special teams, and that's it. He comes out every now and then, though.
I think that's just because maybe they liked what they saw out of Gibson,
right.
And
he's got more experience.
Talanoa and everything like that. They didn't want to. They liked that. They found a sweet spot there with those two guys and with Jimmy at slot. So
They were just trying to milk the cow, keep them in the same position and keep running until it didn't work no more. But it was working really well for us. And, that versatility with Jimmy, I mean, we don't have anybody that's versatile like that. I think as versatile as we're going to get in the secondary, it'd probably be Emmanuel Mosley. Emmanuel Mosley probably be the only one that could play
inside or out.
Slot and inside or out and not really miss a beat. You know what I mean? He doesn't play safety, but I'm pretty sure he might be able to play safety if he could, if he got trained in it. But I mean, we're not looking for that. But I'm just, that veteranship, that consistency, that pretty much that sure thing that we got out of Jimmy Ward, we're not going to have. And so, I'm a little concerned about just a lot of different little pieces. And, Robbie Gould, he may not be able to kick it to the damn end zone, but at the end of the day, Robbie was pretty much, 99.9% of the time was a sure hit.
Field goal.
And
which wins games.
And
the extra points. Yeah. Yep.
That pressure, that all that stuff, that shit doesn't bother him. I mean, he might have missed one or two or whatever under pressure and stuff like that in some pivotal moments, but he's made a whole lot more for us than he's ever missed. You know what I'm saying? So
Robbie smokes the best dope before every game because the dude is way too chill. I'm just amazed at some of the situations, pressure cooker situations. He comes out and waltzes out on the field. You know how he be doing his leg as he's coming out on the field, he's warming it up as he's walking out on the field. You got Jalen Ramsey over there just seething with anger, watching him come on the field. Those are my favorite moments, Ellis. Now I don't get that anymore.
I know.
Damn it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's going to be different. We're not going to have the longest tenured Niner is going to be who? It's going to be coming down to what?
It's Eric Armstead now, I guess.
I was going to say, yeah, Eric Armstead. That's the next one, and I mean, ain't no telling. 2-3 seasons, he might be gone. We don't know what to expect. Then it's going to be, or just all new blood.
Yeah.
I was going to say, shit, go get Vizcaíno. Where's he at? I think he was wasn't he kicking for the Bills or where is he at? He was somewhere on the East, on the AFC. He went somewhere. He could kick.
Yeah.
I forgot his first name, but last name Vizcaíno. He came in like one time we got him. Shit, he was doing his thing. And you see he got jobs at a few other teams that he was on.
I know. He's one of those guys that you wonder why he can't get a job and stay in one place. I don't know. The 49ers don't want to pay no professional money. They want a guy that can pay less than $1 million. That's why I definitely think they're going to get a field goal kicker out of the draft or two. And we're going to watch him sailing that ball wide to the left and right for a while until they can get a psychiatrist to get him to settle down.
But that's what I'm saying. We can't afford to have that kind of shit happen. I think if anybody and everybody, we've seen our schedule next year, right?
Yeah.
The schedule just got harder.
Yeah, well, of course.
So
you win all them
games. The schedule
games.
we just had this past season is not going to compare to the schedule that we got coming up. So,
last year's schedule wasn't easy either because the AFC West it looked like it wasn't going to be easy because the AFC West was supposed to be better than it was. The AFC West was a joke compared to what it should have been. Patrick Mahomes is still owning that division. Even though the Chargers beefed up, the Raiders look like badasses. And Russell Wilson was over in Denver. God.
Yeah. I think we got the Ravens and the Bengals, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, we got some tough teams that we got to play next year. That's just to name two of them. We got a nice little schedule. I didn't say we had an easy one this past one, but the schedule is going to be tougher next year. So we're going to have as much shit together as we possibly can. We cannot just be out there, looking like, like fresh meat. You know what I mean?
But you know what, though, Ellis? One thing about it, and we do this at the beginning of every season, one thing about it is everybody looks great on this point in the season. As soon as they get the roster built, it's after the season starts when guys start going down 5 and 6 a day per weekend, per schedule, right? And then you end up with injuries city. By mid-season, it becomes the survival of the fittest. And whoever can get to week 17 with the most guys is probably going to have the best chance, right? So that's the name of the game.
Yeah, well, let's just hope it works into our favor this year. I think we have some injury issues here and there, but I think we got through the season, especially in the second half of the season.
Guys came back at least.
We benefited a lot more than we did in the past. Unfortunately, when we did have the injuries or we did lose a player, it was at the most important position, which is quarterback. 3 times.
Yeah.
So I think that was the worst part of the season. But
Who's
as a
that
happened
happened to 3 times? Oh,
I've never heard of it. I haven't seen it.
Actually, when you can, Josh is considered a quarterback.
Oh, Josh.
3.5 quarterbacks in, and they damn near killed Josh in that playoff game. Had him stretched out there.
He's the Josh Johnson. He's the.
Had him stretched out there.
He's the Josh Johnson. He's the Dante Johnson of quarterbacks.
I know, right? Oh, God.
Just change the first name.
I know. So it's just,
Cancel.
So people ask why we whine a lot. It's because, we know we're better than these teams that get past us. Rudy's still talking trash.
Shit, Dante.
Well, since the NFC West now, we represent the best team in the NFC West as we've won 2 champions. Rudy, you weren't in the NFC West. St. Louis does not. You can't stop taking credit for that.
How many games did they win last year? Was it 5 or 6?
Maybe. I think, was it 5 or was it 4? They set a record for being the worst team after a Super Bowl of all time.
You guys are close. Rudy, a couple more games, you guys have been getting one of those first-round picks that you've been missing for the past 4 or 5 years and shit.
No, they don't.
So
Ellis. Detroit does.
You should have wished for some more losses. You should have been begging on some more losses. That's what you should have did.
Detroit's good. They're building the best team in Detroit. I mean, the Rams are building that team. Well, hell, is Detroit? They didn't have that.
The Rams worth a penny probably now. Detroit's worth more than y'all asses. So hey, there goes that.
Send all their picks over there, and then they play bad football and send a top 10 pick. They get the Detroit. The Lions going to number 6 in the draft because of the Rams. Oh my God! So
thanks to those Mr. F those picks and them.
Yeah. That would have helped the Rams this year, wouldn't it? No, y'all F them picks. Okay. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, man. We're gonna be all right. I just, as long as we can. I seen that. I'm hearing a lot of good things though about the draft. I'm really hoping that Kyle and the gang and everybody and Adam and the scouting department are really, putting their heads together and we're going for, needs for sure, and also a little mix of best player available, guys and stuff like that instead of just. I don't know. It seems like sometimes they're fishing. We want to be able to get the best player available. When was the last time that we had, we were in the draft and we actually got the best player available?
I can't remember that.
Like a standout player. You know what I mean? That people are like talking about. That's that's got some, it's got
street
some
cred.
National.
That
people are talking about. Who's the talk of the town?
That's going to happen, but you're not when you're in the 3rd round. Those players everybody are talking about are already gone, except for maybe
a lot of the time.
Now calls for good scouting and guys that know what good talent when they see it. So that's why the 49ers are so good at what they do. But next year you got that 1st round pick again, unless they trade it this year for somebody like a Christian McCaffrey again, which I don't know if there's going to be anybody out there like that now because 49ers can't afford to pay McCaffrey, let alone play another guy like that. So. Find out.
Yeah, there's going to be some good players. There's going to be some really good players left over in that 3rd round and on. So,
we're
going to get fat as long as they.
Yeah, we know what we're doing. So.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, man.
All right, so I tell you what, I'll be back midweek. We might as well wait till Thursday because, it's not. I can't wait till free agency conversations get started up. So we'll wait midweek. All right, fam. Ellis, always appreciate you consistently getting in here talking football with us. Shout out to the squad,
yes, sir.
too. See you later on.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, man.
Thanks,
yes, sir. Thank you.
Night, fam. NG49 says, no great O-line. No. No healthy a quarterback unless the quarterback is all-time great. We got skill players. We got top 10 D. Kyle needs a scheme. His quarterback's healthy. See, NG49, there's no such thing as a scheme that can help your quarterback stay healthy. You you got to have some real henchmen out there that really take it personally when you come near his quarterback. That's the only thing that's going to save him. Otherwise, he's going down in a heap like everybody else. And they always go down brutally. Look at that hit they put on Trey. That monster in the middle of the Hawks. Oh my God! And then you watch Jimmy. You just when it's sort of slow mo, dude's got Jimmy, fasten up, drop down on his leg. Brock Purdy reaches back. Dude tries to snap his arm like a chicken wing. Josh Johnson comes in, hit him so hard his head hit the ground like concussion. He's out. I said, this is frightening. Big Show said, have Womack or Thomas battle it out for the slot position. Womack did very well for us. I hope he doesn't have an Ambry Thomas sophomore year. I hope he continues that trajectory up as he was last year. Deshaun, hey, Deshaun, good to see you, fam. Thanks. He says, what's up? The Rams going to need Robbie Gould to win more games. How bad would that piss you off, fam? Deshaun, thanks. Robbie in Dallas or L.A.? Which one do you... Both of them, cause nausea. Rudy's going to be, man, we don't want your old broken down kicker. Rudy, you need any kicker you can get. Y'all ain't winning no games. Five games, Rudy. How many did you lose? It was double digit. Oh, my God. Well, fam, it looks like my screen reads we're done for the night. But listen, fam, it's understandable because there's not a lot to talk about yet. But listen, okay, let me take a look at some of the things that have been sent in chat. I could address some of those things in there before we say goodnight. I get to do it, okay? Because I'm just when I'm alone with my thoughts, I just go nuts because I keep saying to myself, it's gonna be all right, and at the same time, it's not gonna be all right unless things drastically improve. Wasn't I a basket case before the season started last year? No, I think I was pretty confident last year. Or I didn't have one feeling in another. Let me go up here, top here. Rudy, that's the only thing you can work on. You can talk about the amount of rings. Rudy, the fact of the matter is you got 2 rings. The 49ers have 5 now. Your rings are history as well. That one you got in St. Louis was a long time ago, Rudy. Whether you want to make it seem recent or not, it was a long time ago, and you weren't even moved back to L.A. yet. You got 1 ring last year, and that was due to the fact that you got past the 49er team that has owned you, and without a couple of very, very fortunate things happening, you still lose that game. So you need to be grateful. Your team's okay. But as far as world beaters or something to be afraid of, Rudy, you know better. You're not. So, you huff and puff and trying to blow people's house down. You ain't got enough wind. For that, Brian, what are we saying about Debo? See, that's the best tandem in the foot. You know what? Try to think of another tandem in the league that's actually more effective, more dominating than both CMC and Debo in combination if you can keep them both on the field. That's why your quarterback doesn't need to be out there doing a lot more than just make sure to get that ball in their hands on time. If you do that, your quarterback's going to look like an absolute star. Why do you think Jimmy almost passed for 4,000 yards last year? He's got guys that can take care of business. His job, just like every quarterback we're going to have, get the damn ball. Don't fool around. Don't cause the offensive line to have to bust ass. We'll go down the field deep when we get the opportunity, but that's not our M.O. I want to do is a West Coast offense with an exclamation point. Get that ball in the playmaker's hands. Get it in there now. That's what we want to do. because we got the playmakers to do it. And that's going to continue to be the trend with Kyle Shanahan. The only way that's going to change if he overhauls his personnel. The truth serum, Debo trouble with his weight will show 2 to 3 years and will render him ineffective. God, see, that's truth serum. You got the right name. See, this is the thing. Debo's going to have to be more serious about his physicality and his body. He really is. He's one of those guys that'll just grow by just breathing. So he's got to be real careful. Hey, yo, Bethel, come on in, Bethel.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bethel.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Ronbo.
Yeah, Bethel, we're sitting here moaning and groaning about some things that are happening now. We don't have a first-round pick. Robbie Gould is leaving. Jimmy Ward is most likely leaving. You got guys on your defensive line that are probably not going to get re-signed. The 49ers are looking to go cost. They're going to be thrifty this year on signing people. They're going to be restructuring as many people as they can. I don't know what that's going to – the end result of all this is going to mean what. We're going to bring in some defensive linemen maybe. They're going to try to draft some. They got a lot of picks. They're going to use them all this year, I imagine. But Bethel, what are you seeing from where you're sitting? Brett, Niners have met and interviewed over 100 players. Is that right?
Yeah, I think what we're going to do is, because we have a lot of picks. We have 11 picks. I think what they're going to probably do is maybe bundle some of those picks to go up some and, start getting, some of the players that they want, because they're not going to need all the picks that they have.
So what do you suggest? They're going to use some of those and trade up?
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing that, we might do, because, get some of those players that, that we're going to need, because if we're going to get some of the offense line or tight end or, some people that help us out, I've been hearing we might get the tight end from where Kittle came from,
Iowa,
that he's really good tight end, that he might be good for our system, that I guess he's a really known tight end.
Iowa, apparently they like to block out in Iowa. So this is like Kyle wants you to be able to do that first. He'll teach you everything else.
Yeah. And, and then we need to get somebody to help out both on the other side, or, a good run stoppers. I think I've seen some good run stoppers on there. And I've seen that there's a lot of good safeties in this draft also. So, we might end up getting a good safety in this draft class too, if we need one.
Yeah. Safeties, how well have we done with safeties in the past few years? I'm starting to wonder who's in. Is there 1 or 2 or 3 scouts in charge of that position? Because
remember who our new D coach is. If he knows, if he sees some good tape on some of the good safeties, he might pick one.
You're right. I forgot about that. He's got an eye for that. He knows who's who and what we want to do and what kind of skills are needed. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting. How many times we might move up to try to get somebody, if they're looking at somebody, and see what we're gonna do in the draft, because you never know with this team. We want somebody and they're deciding to get somebody else, and with why you didn't get them, or and then you see, oh, okay, now we know why they got them. So
because our coaches are usually some of the best. So in fact, our defensive line, I think that's attributed a lot to Chris Kasurik and whoever assists him on what he does. Because that defensive line is, even if they don't have a lot of blue chippers on that front line other than Nick, they still do a good job,
Yeah. And then plus a lot of people should I've been seeing that supposedly we might trade Trey, but I'm all like, why are you gonna trade if he has a good arm? He especially, and then plus who was helping Brock Purdy out when he was getting there? Trey was the one helping him out, giving him some advice and stuff like that. So he picked up some stuff.
Give
and
Greasy some credit too.
Yeah. So and that's some stuff too. Trey learned some stuff from him also. So and you gotta see what the kid has, before you even want to trade him, because if you end up trading him and he does better somewhere else, then you're gonna go, oh, we traded our future, and you could have, maybe got a Super Bowl off of him, or you could have got something off of him, and you gave him to another team that is gonna do better, and and you don't want him, biting you in the butt and beating you in the playoffs or something because you want to trade him.
I'm already imagining Robbie Gould sitting on the, as you see him run out on the field. Guys, here's what we were talking about. Here comes Robbie. That's a 40-yarder. What are the odds? We sit there, sweat pouring off our head. Oh, there it is. We're out.
If I see Robbie not signing with us, maybe he'd probably sign with a team that's closer to his home, so he won't be. Maybe
he'll be in the East somewhere.
Yeah, because he's not gonna be over here. He's, because a person gets fed up of living in the hotel and always have to fly and stuff like that, and it costs a lot of money to be around here, and because some of our players, that's why some of our players left to other places where you don't have to pay a lot of money and taxes and stuff like that, or a lot cheaper other places.
Yeah.
So
and that's the thing in California, and I think that's why Robbie wanted a little bit more, because first of all, he's far away from home, the tax situation in California. So, and the 49ers have to deal with that all the time, but they still manage to put together a good roster. Not a lot of free agents.
Yeah.
But we do get the best free agents. So McCaffrey was wow.
Yeah.
He wasn't a free agent, though. That was a trade. Forgot about that.
Yeah, and then one more thing, if we do make it to the playoffs and we do go far in the playoffs, if we win one more playoff game, we actually tie the Patriots for the most playoff wins in the NFL. So, that's something else to think about.
Wow.
And I think Kyle's win percentage is even right now, I think, a little bit higher.
Oh, I forgot about that. Is Kyle at 500?
Yeah.
He was close.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah, because I remember if Brock Purdy was keep on winning, he ended up tying, and then I think because we won some of the playoff games, he probably win.
They probably don't count those in the regular season, though. So he needed to tie it up by the time we got to week 17.
Yeah, I think he tied it up. If I remember
congratulations for Kyle. Honestly, he's a better coach than that record. But unlike the Rams, who had the team already ready-made, just add water and stir, Kyle had to go in there and build a team. It took a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing that people have to realize. If he gets his guys and they execute, they'll be – this is a good team. It's just that people have to just execute. And I don't know how many times I was seeing if a certain person would have blocked, McCaffrey would have been gone for a touchdown.
Yeah.
If certain people blocked, Ayuk would have went straight for a touchdown.
If certain people would have blocked,
have to block.
Brock Purdy's arm isn't snapped.
Yes,
so,
that's also another thing. So, it's just execution, and it's just the players have to just be ready. And And hopefully in this draft, we'll pick up some good players and, get some people that we need, because I've been seeing a lot of highlights of certain players, and hopefully, we could, maybe pick up some of these players and that will fit in our system and see what happens, because if this is for Rudy, if I don't know if you've seen the thing on there that who's the right receiver that the Rams have that says maybe he'll be going to another team?
Wide receiver. Let's see. How long ago was it? This past season? Years gone by?
Because I think I seen that he maybe wanted to get traded, but I don't know if he was just playing around.
No, they're not playing. Did you see Jalen Ramsey's tweet after the Rams talked about trading him? Oh, he was delighted.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, nobody wants to play with the Rams right now. They know that's a bonfire. I mean, it's just a house burning now. So, Rams house on fire. It's done. They got a long way to go to get back to relevance. And any kind of
I even seen some content creators actually they gave up doing YouTube because how embarrassed they were. They just stopped doing it. So I was like, you know what, Rams, you're done.
See,
they didn't even want to show their face in the TV.
They were bandwagoners in the first place. That's what I'm saying. The Rams only got a lot of crowd, like the Hawks, but the Hawks fans really are a little more. I give them more credit now. But the Rams all of a sudden won a couple of games. Oh, we're Rams fan. Yeah. How long have you been watching football? About 3 weeks. Okay, good for you. See, now it's easy to get off that trade. See, so that's what they do.
Yeah. Yeah, so, and see, we're not like that. We know our stuff. We know what we're talking about. Not like Marketing Pro that don't know what he's talking about.
I like Marketing Pro, though. That dude is comical.
Yeah, he's a funny guy. Maybe he was a comedian and he's a Rams fan just to be comedian. Just to laugh on his own team. Just to make fun of him.
But what is his name? Go what? That dude, that's an annoying person.
Go Probe.
Go something. What's that guy? Anyway, he used to be a regular in here, and there's a couple that used to join. But man, now they're annoying.
Ready to croak.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
Ready
to croak. That's it.
He
probably. Well, I guess he already did that. We haven't seen him in a long time since the Rams finally embarrassed him to the point he has nothing to say. I told you, welcome back in anytime you guys have pissed me off. I never said you couldn't come in. In fact, I wish you would now. All that trash he was talking this time last year. Remember that? Last year, we couldn't even talk. All the chat was just, every other one was hornhead, right? And they're just in there running their mouth. Yeah, you 49ers, man, you got to look up to your master now, don't you? NFC West. Who owns an NFC West? Ooh, y'all wait. I give you 4 weeks into this new season. I give you 4 weeks. You guys go back up. Didn't take 1 week. Didn't they get their ass ran out? They started the season with the Buffalo Bills, and the Bills beat them like stepchildren.
I remember that.
Bumping it on the ground, just beating them up. God. Anyway. Well, Bethel, we're gonna go.
Do you think that we might draft a quarterback in this class, or
every year
we might get a veteran?
Every year, the 49ers, they're going to become better. They're going to draft a quarterback every year. They're going to go. Belichick does the same thing. He drafts a quarterback every year. They're going to do it, and especially with the luck they had last year with Brock Purdy. They didn't see that coming. They thought he might be okay or something, but they didn't know what to expect. They didn't know he was going to come in there and did what he did. That was extraordinary for any draft round. So, anyway, Bethel.
All right, Ronbo, like always, great show.
Thanks,
Hit the like, you haters, and let's go Niners.
Have a great night, Bethel. Appreciate you getting in here.
You too.
Good. It's just we was talking about them low-life, scum-sucking, rat-infested. Jalen, get in there and talk about them. Nobody can talk about him like Jalen. He does it better than anybody.
Ronbo, Ronbo,
Yeah,
can
yeah.
you hear me?
I can hear you now, yeah.
Man, Cardinals, y'all irrelevant. Rams, y'all I bitch. Gene D, you ain't said much recently, but damn, you can get in on this pitch. Rombo, what's up? What's up with these clowns in this West, Rombo? What's up, man? Dog, I don't understand. I don't understand. First of all, where the Rams fans come from. You know, it's just certain stuff you don't hear often, Rombo. It's just weird to hear. I saw a unicorn outside. I'm a Sacramento Kings fan. You don't hear people say I'm an LA Rams fan. You just don't hear that shit, Rombo. First thing, if you hear that, the first thing you're going to ask them are you from here? You're going to ask them, are they from LA? Because automatically off rip, if I hear somebody say they a Rams fan from Memphis, I know they're not from here. Off rip. I'm going to ask them how's Cali's weather because I know you're not from here. You have to be a native. There's no such thing as a Rams fans in Colorado. There's not a Rams fan in Chicago. There are Rams fans in that sorry ass state, that city of LA. And then you got that nasty ass, rainy ass, sorry ass city of Seattle, Washington, where them nasty ass Seahawks play, and Lincoln Memorial Field. And don't even get me started on that dusty ass desert where them filthy ass Dirty Bird Cardinals play. I'm getting real sick and tired of these clowns trying to talk shit, Rombo. Go make your own podcast. Talk about your own failures and flaws. Stop coming on 49ers pages trying to talk shit. Cardinals, y'all don't have a quarterback. Seahawks, your quarterback is literally Geno Smith. And Rams, come on, Rudy. What are y'all doing now? You're wasting your time. We have a future and y'all have shit to do with us. Please focus on yourself. Go back to your own states and stay in your own place. I'm not about to keep coming on here and talking about these sorry-ass clown teams from the West, and we done swept they sorry ass for at least like the last 2-3 years. I'm not worried about these teams, Rombo. If we lose Kyle Shanahan, hell, if we lose the whole front office, I know damn well we're going to sweep this division. I'm not worried about these people. They need to shut the hell up. Now, what do you want to talk about today, Rombo? What are we talking about?
I just like staying on this page because, every time I go to Twitter, I got to work Rudy. And Rudy's built up a contingent now. He's got 4 guys in there. And I said, so that's what I'm saying. Anybody, matter of fact, if you're not on Twitter, if you want to get into this with Rudy, because we ain't doing nothing else for another couple of weeks, just let's work Rudy and company as much as possible. But anyway, Jalen, it's about losing Robbie Gould. Now, I'm not sure how strong you feel about that, but my concerns are that if we get another kicker, he's got to come out and be like Robbie. That's expecting a lot. And,
it is.
So, Robbie couldn't get the ball in the back of the end zone, and they're kind of blaming Robbie for special teams errors and problems. But, if all I got to worry about is that, I'd rather have Robbie come in with the game on the line. I need this field goal and that's going to be wide to the right, and the Rams win it. Oh, that would just really bother me.
The one game where I said, damn, if we lose, Robbie is going to hurt us. I still think, Rombo, I still have nightmares about that Seattle game. We was 8-0. And that kicker, and he shanked that field goal in overtime. I said, oh, my God.
No, Jalen, he did that in regular time. We wouldn't have had to go to overtime if he could keep the ball out of the damn tunnel. All he had to do was kick that field goal, and we sweep the Hawks.
No, we lost to Seattle in overtime in 2019 because he made the kick to get us to overtime, and then Dre Greenlaw got that pick.
Right. You're right.
And we drove down the field, and he shanked the kick, Rombo.
That's right.
I damn near passed out. Oh my God.
And remember, we lost Emmanuel Mosley in that game. George Kittle was
we
up
lost
in that
a lot
glass
of people
booth,
that game.
And wasn't even in the game. And, they ran off the field laughing and joking. Yeah, it made me so mad.
Yeah, that Seattle game to this day, that's still
nightmare.
Oh, my God. Yeah, we was 8-0. I mean, to lose to, oh, God.
But we've been 9.
Oh, my God.
Well, the other game we lost, too. We lost that game to the Atlanta Falcons.
We lost to the Falcons. We lost to the Ravens. And
George Kittle coming around the corner,
Yeah.
switching hands with the ball, throws it out of bounds. George never makes. When George Kittle makes a mistake, it's a rarity. It's one of the mistakes where you say, George, you've never done that. Wow, what? Why? And we lost the ball game.
Oh, yeah, that Atlanta Falcons game was a heartbreaker, too. That Julio touchdown at the last minute.
When Jimmy Ward's too short, and he just laid over the top of Jimmy and broke his brain. I just look at this. Jimmy hit him
done
high.
had our number the last couple of years. I ain't gonna lie. They done got some little wins on us.
Falcons, I know, right? Yeah,
they done got a couple of wins on us, Ronbo. But, man, I'm getting real tired of these crisis actors, these fake fans that I know aren't real that are getting paid in L.A. to wear these yellow and blue jerseys.
Yeah.
Like, what? First of all, Ronbo, God knows I never hear any Cardinals fans in here. I don't even think they exist. I don't even think they're real.
Yeah.
I mean, if they do, I laugh and I'm saying to myself, I mean, you hear a Cardinals fan, I feel like I just discovered a whole new planet. Honestly, I'm curious to what you finna say. I want to know why you a Cardinals fan. You teach me something, and then you got Gina D. Make a couple little comments in the comment section every now and then. But God knows that they not finna do nothing. Gene D, y'all should have threw that ball. Y'all should have ran that ball in that Super Bowl. You can't get mad at us because y'all only got one ring. You still holding on to that hate from almost 10 years ago because y'all wanted to throw the ball. That's not our fault that your coach can't coach.
And see, Jalen, that's the thing. When Rudy's talking about his trophy from St. Louis, that's got to be 10 years old or more, right? What am I saying?
Nobody gives a damn about rings from the past, Ronbo. Well, at least the new generation don't. We don't. I mean, we don't. I'm just going to be real with you.
No. Here's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Rudy gets. Man, you guys are still talking about those rings. Rudy, that's a part of a legacy. When you build a legacy similar to that, if a Steeler fan is talking to me, I understand what he's talking about. He's got more rings than 49ers do. If a Cowboys fan, and Jaden, we almost have to tolerate a Cowboys fan too. They get the same amount of rings as we do. But the Rams don't, and the Hawks don't either. So if we're going to look at legacies, you have to compare legacies. You don't compare.
Yeah,
we're the best team in the NFC West.
There's no legacy if you win one ring and the next one is like 20 years apart. That's not a legacy.
That's
when you win 5 rings in 3 years, that's a legacy.
That's a dynasty.
When you got Hall of Fame people who are the best at their position, that's a legacy.
Mm-hmm. Especially when you talk about QB.
Rams. Yeah, man, come on, dog. Y'all best quarterback, Kurt Warner, man. You got him out of a convenience store. I mean,
and I say again, in St. Louis, I can't give the Rams full credit for being in St. Louis and talk about. Were you guys still fans of the Rams when they went to St. Louis? These folks in L.A. I bet you they weren't.
Man, Ronbo, I don't give a damn what they was. I don't think Rams fans are real. I don't think Rams fans are real. I don't think Seattle fans are real. Ronbo, if the 49ers were not in the NFC West, we would probably be one of the, let's just say we were replaced with the Jaguars. How embarrassing this division would be. The Los Angeles Rams, the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Arizona Cardinals, and the Seattle Seahawks. Where are the fan bases? Where are the fan bases in this division, Ronbo?
Yeah.
Somebody has to call our division out on that. Man, we got 3 teams that have no fan bases. No history, no legacy.
Yeah.
I mean, just jokes. And got the nerve to constantly come in here and talk to their big brothers disrespectfully while we kept them relevant all these years.
And the reason they got any kind of name is because they got past the 49ers once or twice.
Exactly, Ronbo. Exactly. If the Rams was beating up on the freaking Giants every year or Commanders, nobody would give a damn. Nobody would give a damn.
Eagles too, up until recently. Let's say the NFC East, right? The NFC East has been the clown, the Giants, and they're getting ready to pay $45 million a year to Danny Dimes.
Danny Dimes be out there throwing pennies, Ronbo. I ain't worried about him.
You guys gonna pay him $45? Really? I want to see that. Like Dak. Is Dak a $40 million quarterback?
Dak ain't even a starting quarterback to me.
So
Not when you throwing you throwing 2 interceptions in playoff games like that. I can't trust you. Mm-mm.
So it's just the quarterback situation has gotten out of control anyway. Now Lamar Jackson needs to be paid. If for no other reason, Deshaun Watson got paid. Patrick Mahomes is underpaid right now.
Yeah.
For what he's going to do, he will be one of the legendaries at some point in his career.
Absolutely.
But some of these guys,
like Steph Curry, Rombo. Just like
Yeah.
Steph, I look at him and Steph Curry the same way, like how they changed the game. I
yeah,
look at them the same way. Yeah. But you talk about quarterback situation. What's that quarterback situation looking like around the NFC West? Matt Stafford, how that elbow feeling? Kyler Murray, you still on that little crutch you got? And God knows what Rombo. I think Geno Smith might be old enough to be my dad. I'm gonna just be honest with you.
Hey, I tell you what.
He getting up there. He
I
getting
tell you
up there.
Gino, they were talking about extending him, and I noticed they're not talking about it anymore.
Go ahead.
You know?
Ahead. Bring back the 1-year wonder. Bring them back. Come on.
They're gonna draft
Bring
one.
them back.
The
Bring
Hawks
'em
weren't
back.
fooling me even when they said that. I said, y'all got that.
No. Gene D, don't draft the quarterback. Bring back Geno Smith.
Bring Geno back.
Geno Smith, please.
Yeah, that's what we want.
Please, bring him back. Bring him back. Bring him back. Please, bring him back. You damn right. Oh my God. No, Geno Smith, don't come back. Please don't bring him back. Oh no.
Jay, I'll see you Wednesday. Always appreciate you.
A bunch of clowns in this division, man. Let them know y'all place, man.
You ready for the yell?
I see you, Ronbo.
Oh man, Jalen. So NFC West participants, especially Seattle, Los Angeles, I'm gonna cut him loose on y'all every chance I get. Love it. You people understand, just stop. Know your role and shut your damn mouth. Hey. Who's it? GB Bull. Thanks, fam. Appreciate that. And number one fan here. I can't. I always love the jumping pair. Thanks, fam. And Chrissy Hansen. Let's hold a moment of silence for Isaiah P. And for the most part, I got to tell you though, fam, and I'm not trying to give any respect to the Hawks. They do concern me to some small degree because what they did last year surprised me. It really did. They've got a couple of draft picks coming up due to Russell Wilson. One thing we do to be concerned with is the draft picks and how Russell Wilson set them up for life. Going to Denver. And then Denver plays poor football, and now the Hawks end up getting shit. Aren't they a top? Don't the Hawks pick number 3 or 4? I don't know where Denver is, but it can't be too good, right? Of course, the Rams are stupid, so what they did was help the Detroit Lions. So to be concerned with them, they've been picking number 6. Can you imagine what the Rams could do with the number 6 pick? F them picks. See, this is when you don't F them picks. And you know what? When you do that kind of thing, don't be running around talking trash. F them picks. That rings throughout the NFL halls, everywhere. Hey, Tony, come on in here with them picks. Tony!
Ronbo.
Tony!
How you doing?
I'm doing great. Nothing cheers me up more than talking about the Rams and the Hawks and company. You know what I mean? I don't have anything against the Cardinals. I feel numb. I don't have any feeling whatsoever about the Cardinals. But the Rams and the Hawks, boy, it's always fun to watch them just lay down.
And Ronbo, to add on to what you're saying, you said about the Rams being stupid, and the Broncos being stupid. Throw them ain'ts in there that Chris Olave picked from last year. Now the Eagles, who were just in the Super Bowl, have the 10th overall pick. Thank you, Nolan.
Oh, that's right. God, that's right, huh?
Stupid.
Wow. See, that's how bad
Sorry,
teams...
Ronbo, about your kicker. Your kicker just Gave y'all the cold shoulder, say he ain't coming back, huh?
Yeah, well, the 49ers embarrassed him by saying what they said to him. So he's got a certain amount of pride. He's done all a person can do to earn a job. And, Robbie could file for age discrimination if he wanted to, because they getting rid of Robbie because they don't want to give a 3-year contract. He'll be 43 at the end of a long contract, right? So the 49ers still ain't feeling that. So, and he was starting to slow down, but not enough. I would have took Robbie out to the finest restaurant in town and talked to him about, listen, Robbie, you realize our situation right now. We want to keep you for another year. And Robbie, we want to monitor the situation by just go ahead. We'll give you Robbie, I'll give you a 1-year contract for the next 10 years. I just need to be able to get it back past my supervisors that we're keeping you. But I can't give you a 3-year contract right now, Robbie. You know how this business works. So, I don't think they handle that well, because the 49ers told everybody, we're playing hardball with Robbie Gould. We got a set amount we're going to offer. They offer him $4 million, and that's it. Well, Niners, don't make that public. Don't embarrass the man. He's won a lot of games for us. Never misses in postseason. Come on, you got to respect him more than that. No, we're going to make our decision after we go to the combine. And guys, why are you talking to him like that? I just didn't think they handled it well at all. I mean, maybe they thought they were being honest. I don't know. I just don't get it. I'm not happy with it, though.
Yeah.
So we're looking for a kicker.
But, Ronbo, I was on one of my Falcons chats, like this Smitty guy again. Here he goes, stirring it up again. Well, Baltimore and Lamar Jackson ain't reaching it. I immediately put in the comments, so because they're not working out there, we're supposed to pick up the tab and pick them up and give up our future with picks. I said no. And I like Lamar Jackson, but no. We just get, Ronbo, you know the story. We just got out of salary cap purgatory for the last 3 years.
And if you make that deal, you'll be right back in purgatory for the next 5 years, too. That's a lot of money. Yeah.
Exactly. And we won't be able to find, you got the Yannick Ngakwe's, the Javon Hargraves. Free agency is in about 9 days. We won't be able to get any of these guys if we get Lamar Jackson.
The only way you do those deals is if you're an up-and-coming team. You've gotten you got your full bankroll is all there. You got all your draft picks. So something like the 49ers were in 2017. You got money to burn. You got a bunch of draft picks. And now if Lamar Jackson wants to come to a rebuilding situation, you bring him in.
Yeah. And then I had a couple of them clowns, Ronbo. Yeah, saying, well, I said, you guys just want Michael Vick 2.0. Well, we ain't been winning the last few years. We might as well get him. I said, okay, let's get Lamar Jackson. What if we don't win? Then what y'all gonna say?
You gonna say trade him? People talk like that don't understand the wiring of a franchise winner. They just don't get it.
Team, TEAM. It takes building blocks, different players, offense, defense, special teams. There's some dogs out there in free agency on the defensive line. And you of all people know, Grady Jarrett ain't said nothing, but he needs help, and he's tired of not having no help.
Mm-hmm.
Now we got money to get him help.
Yeah. And where do you guys get pick in the draft? There's some dudes that are running, Tony. You see them defensive ends and others, linemen, running in the combine? What kind of – that's insane. 260s to 280. And you're out there running 4.4 and 4.3s. Well, none of them broke 4.4, but that's outrageous. So that's a new hybrid. They want us to
get Lamar Jackson, give up our first-round pick this year, give up our first-round pick next year, pay him $40-50 million a year, be in salary cap purgatory, and now we don't have no. We'll be like the Rams, no money, no pick.
And you also be in the media a lot because Lamar Jackson, any quarterback that gets in that situation, he's going to start designating blame. Each and every week after about week 5 or 6, he's going to stop being that team guy that says, well, we're going to have to do better as a team, and that starts with me. I've got to play better, and I've got to make sure my players, the guys around me, are playing better due to my efforts. Those speeches stop after about 8 or 9 weeks, and you're sitting there, your arm is just hurting behind being hit, and well, you know what? The thing, I'm doing the best I can. Now, beyond, I can only help what I can help. See, that conversation starts coming out later, you know. Now you got a locker room that's falling apart, right?
Aaron Rodgers. And you remember last year, second-year player
Classic
Zach
example.
Wilson was saying that nonsense. A second-year guy.
That's why
When
you
he
can't
stopped
blame
playing
Devontae for saying what he said. Look, man, I'm every year I go through this. So I don't know what he's gonna do, so I'm gonna just go ahead and check out. Devontae, we're gonna offer you. Don't worry about your contract. No, it's not about the money now. It's about my sense of mind. Y'all know what it's like knowing that I may come back to a quarterback that can't play a damn bit of football. Why I gotta do? You know how old I am? I ain't got time for this shit. You know, so he leaves. He goes back and plays with his bro, right? Then he knows. And what happened? That didn't work out well either, though.
Yep. I mean, you know, it's all about team, Ronbo. T-E-A-M, team. You can't tell some of these cats this.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Gotta learn.
Yeah, I've seen. Well, there's some of us that talk that way, and I try to politely address it and not get involved any further than that, because you're not gonna. That's an argument that when they say things like that, he doesn't really understand what he's saying. He doesn't know the implications of making those kind of moves. You get Lamar Jackson, and it will destroy that team overnight. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, we got to get some dogs. We got to get some dogs. And, you know, Lamar Jackson, fine, but not with us. Like I said, Washington will be a good fit for him. He's got players around him, receivers, new offensive coordinator. Miami will be a good fit for him. But
you gotta have a team that's ready to win. And if you can keep those players after you sign Lamar, it works.
Yeah,
of course it
man.
works.
Yeah. You know, and you guys, free agency coming, you guys got some money to spend. You know, let's see what you do. Everybody's falling in love now with quarterback Anthony Richardson out of Florida.
Is he any good? Hey, I meant to, Big Show likes him. How do you feel about Anthony? The dude's a freak.
Ronbo, I put in my comments because Falcons fans were talking about him too. I don't like to use the race card, but I'm like, oh, here we go. Another black quarterback, Lamar Jackson. I mean, Michael Vick 2.0. He ran a 4.4 in the 40 at 240 pounds. So I put in the comment, I'm like, yeah, that's his pass completion percentage in the NFL, 44.4%.
Are you serious? Is this pass percentage?
No, that's what I said. It's gonna be if he comes to the NFL.
Okay, yeah, because you know
he only had 16 touchdowns, 7 interceptions at Florida, but he ran for like 12 touchdowns. You know, everybody loved that flash and dash.
Yeah, you know that doesn't work in the NFL because now I just got to saying, you look at the defensive linemen now, you got them running as fast as these guys can. Now, if he runs around that corner, there's going to be a lineman waiting for him. You know?
Yeah. Look at Lamar Jackson. He won the MVP. What happened in 2021 and 2022 caught up to his ass, and he got hurt and he missed games last year and this year.
That's all the DC does, Tony. He sits around, come up with ways to stop them bullets. They call themselves quarterbacks. You know, if he can't use the rest of it, that's why people say, yes, 11. Guys, it's not 11 on 11. Now it's 11 on 1, the defense versus the quarterback. Why? Because they're going to play the quarterback harder than they play anybody else on the rest of the field. Why? Because he's the biggest threat. That's the way if I was a defensive coordinator, that's what I'd do. Kill the quarterback and the rest, you cut the head off of the snake and it dies. That's the way it works.
And the rest will follow.
Yeah.
And the rest will follow. You know, the D coordinators, Ronbo, they say get after his ass and relentlessly keep getting after him.
Right? Flustering.
Yep.
Frustrating.
That's why you have all those dogs. Yep. That's why you get 4, 5, 6, 7 dogs, and you rotate them defensive linemen, and you blitz them edge rushers from the linebacker, and you get after his ass.
Mm-hmm. Hit him. Even if you get a flag, I want him hit. You know, that's even against Hurts. The 49ers in the beginning of that game, before you could see the plan was clear. Hurts ran around a corner, and his eyes looked like light bulbs in his head. He's seen Nick. Nick was standing, waiting on him. I got our Eric Armstead. Come on. Yep. They was waiting on him on both sides. Oh, look at Fred Warner. What are you doing out of position? This is beautiful. You guys got this scheme ready.
Alshire was after him, too. Yep.
Yes.
They was coming to get him.
So, you know.
Speaking of which, are y'all going to re-sign him, Alshire?
Looks like he's leaving.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a good linebacker. If you guys looking for a linebacker, he's out there. The 49ers are not going to resign him, from what I understand. It was between him and Dre. They already paid Dre.
Try to resign inside linebacker Rashard Evans. We need to resign him. He was fourth in the league in tackles, so we're trying to resign him.
That makes sense. Fourth in the league. It doesn't get any better than that. If you got him, you got to pay him. So.
Yes, sir. Any other free agents you guys might try to sign? I know you guys got Gibson coming back, which is good. Great experience.
Yeah, because I thought he was going to quit, and fortunately, but
He
Jimmy Ward's going to be out there. I'm pretty sure, because he doesn't.
He'll be going to the AFC probably.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to play. Or he'll go to he may go to the Jets. Yeah, that's AFC Jets, or he could end up in Miami. I don't know. Miami's got. How's their secondary look? Could go. What am I talking about? Jimmy could be in Texas. D'Amico might be on the phone with Jimmy right now. I forgot about D'Amico.
He might take a lot of convincing because I know Jimmy probably want to win.
Okay, Tony. Every year there's a surprise club. Now D'Amico's got a lot of draft picks, and he knows how to. D'Amico knows how to fire dudes up. Who's that quarterback though? For
Davis Mills.
Yeah.
Davis Mills.
I actually didn't. Davis Mills needs more seasoning. I didn't think he was that bad. His decision making and some of the things he did was pretty good, actually. Depending on what kind of offense you run.
But they're going to draft either Bryce Young, they got the second pick, or C.J. Stroud. But I think the Bears' phone lines are flooded with calls because teams are going to trade up to try to get C.J. Stroud in there.
And the Bears are feeling good about. We don't want a quarterback. We got a quarterback. What do you want? What do you want to give us? They'd be smart to do that,
Bears about to get the farm. It's going to happen. They're about to get the farm from somebody. It better not be the Falcons. I'm going to be mad.
Hey, Tony, speaking of Bryce, what is your opinion of Bryce? Is he going to make it in the NFL, or is he going to be the next Kyler Murray?
He's going to be better than Kyler Murray, but they got him slightly better than C.J. Stroud. And I don't see that at all. C.J. Stroud he's got all the tools. I love C.J. Stroud. I think he's the guy to get. And,
is he the one that says he's got a cannon for an arm?
He does. He showed it in the drills yesterday from Ohio State.
Yeah, I just get a kick out of his attitude. I just want to show off because I got a cannon of an arm.
My thing is they're probably, and like you said, Ronbo, don't get all hyped up about the combine, but everybody got hyped up about this Richardson kid from Florida. I'm like, y'all making a big mistake.
I stopped doing that.
The Seahawks even talking about taking them at 5.
I stopped doing that. I stopped doing that 3 years ago. I said, I'm going to stop getting excited about the combine. These Olympians coming out of the combine, coming to the NFL, it's about playing football. If you can play ball, okay. I love that athleticism, but you got to be able to play ball, man.
Exactly.
Bama quarterback, it's prestige, Tony. If you play for Bama and Saban, you're as NFL ready as a person can be, right? That's what that's about. I can't wait to see
Imagine
Bryce.
their pro days, Ronbo, because there's different scouts coming there for it. Offensive line, defensive line, linebackers, corners. They come from every position. I was telling my wife that about Alabama's pro days. They come from all the positions for Alabama pro days.
I mean, hotel rooms are filled up with scouts, GMs, and everything else. Bama's Bama should get some money from the NFL to bolster that program as a farm club. Some certain schools ought to be just called farm clubs.
Yeah.
Most of the SEC, Clemson, LSU. I mean, these programs, Georgia, these programs are solid every year. It's amazing.
Every year. Yep. And what I like about Alabama, I remember you did a show about a year. We would talk about offensive lines, and we would talk about Boston College, Wisconsin, Notre Dame. Those are the schools for offensive linemen. You got to throw Bama in there with those top schools, too, for offensive linemen.
Easily. Notre Dame has had some guys, but it's some schools, no matter what. And it used to be on the West Coast, SC and UCLA, you could get whatever you needed. Now it ain't like that anymore, though. So.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, Tony,
But
Always a good
Ronbo,
time.
now that the combine is over, your GMs and everybody's making their adjustments. Ronbo, good luck in free agency, man. Next
We're going
week.
to need it.
The frenzy starts Sunday, but the actual free agency doesn't start till the 15th.
Mm-hmm.
So it's coming up.
Yep.
And you guys got some money, but let's see what you do. And man,
Yeah, good luck for you guys too. Hope you get that defensive help out there you need for what's his name on that front line defense. Because the Falcons, it's like Jalen says, y'all beat us up every now and then, don't you? Even while you're rebuilding the team. So that means all you need is a couple of pieces.
That's because we had Julio. That one year we had Julio. Yeah. We weren't supposed to win. He was lighting y'all up anyway. That game out there.
Julio, boy, back in the day, Julio lit everybody up. When you talk about, what is his average of yards a game? Didn't he average 100 yards a game for his career? Yeah. That's extraordinary. Tony,
yeah. I hope he retires. Ronbo.
Yeah, he does. Don't go out looking real bad. Yeah. All right, Tony. See you midweek.
See you midweek. And Rudy, your ass. I seen your comments, Rudy. Y'all don't have any money. Y'all don't have any picks. And y'all got players that want to leave. And some players are free agents and telling y'all they leaving. Good night, Ronbo.
Some are probably going to be AWOL when camp starts anyway if they don't get rid of him. Especially Akers.
Yes, sir.
Akers said, I told y'all I wanted to leave. Y'all can just go play me. You can let everybody else go. You go franchise tag my ass. I don't think so.
And they got paid fans.
Yeah.
So shit.
There's that.
Don't get no worse than that.
All right.
What's up, Ellis? What's up, man?
All right, guys.
What's up, Tall?
We'll see you midweek. Have a great night, Tony.
Yes, sir. You too.
Thanks, Tony. Hey, Donna Bell, come on in here.
Hello. Hey, Ronbo. How are you?
Oh, Donna Bell, I need more good news. This we have there's an ebb and flow with joy and happiness as a 49er fan. When I heard Jimmy Ward was not coming back, now I'm hearing Robbie's not coming back. I figured that the 49ers, Alshar, I didn't really appreciate that inning. This is the way the game goes, so you can't keep everybody. They got my quarterback. They broke his arm. I got one quarterback. Actually, if we start practice tomorrow, Donna Bell, do you know we don't have any quarterbacks except for Johnny Johnson? Because even Trey hasn't passed inspection yet to be cleared to play. So, it looks bad right now here in the month of March. But Donna Bell, bring some happiness to it tonight. Can you do that? Or can you add more worry?
Well, the good news is, Ronbo, Jesus is Lord. We all alive and getting our right mind.
There you go.
Except for the Rams fans.
Yeah.
I feel Gene. He done pop back in here.
Yeah, I know.
Lord bless his soul. He just ain't got nothing better to do. But that's all right. We pray for him.
Yeah, well, we're here as a saviors for him. You know what I mean? Because they wouldn't have nothing else to do without us.
What I want to do, what I would like, I'm sad about Jimmy Ward. I really hate letting them doing Robbie Gould the way they did him. That was wrong. Because he's played a while for the 49ers, and his family, if I recall, he first came, I believe, from Chicago. He didn't really want to stay here, but he went ahead and stayed, worked with them, I guess, financially and whatnot. And he did, even though his family, I believe, still in Chicago, and they didn't want to come here. And so, and it's like, okay, you need to, my mom always said, don't count your chickens before they hatch. And it's like, okay, so who do we really have at kicker that we can count on to the extent of Robbie Gould?
Zero. We don't have one.
I think it was very.
They didn't have to talk to him like that. Donna, they could have gave him more. Robbie's been everything for us for years. Now you guys got to talk to him like this? I don't get it. What are you doing?
He's the one that stopped Turpin.
See,
he the reason why Turpin didn't run one back for a touchdown. That was Robbie.
Well, they try to say Robbie was his fault in the first place for not putting it in the back of the end zone.
No, it wasn't. Robbie laid down he turned his back to Turpin. Turpin wasn't paying attention. He tried to
ran into
his
Robbie.
his teammate, and Robbie was there, number 9, clear as day. And the turbulence of them hitting each other knocked Robbie down.
Yeah,
but it made Turpin football too, though.
Yeah, because Kermit ain't that big.
Yeah.
Point is, I wanted
Robbie's
Mitch
done so-
Wisnowski doing that kick anyway, but they said Mick was getting leg fatigue from having to do everything. I said, well, you know what? Really?
He may be older, but to me, all he got to do is use his leg, and it seemed to be working fine to me.
It was. If we needed a field goal, Robbie goes, he'll get it.
I call him Robbie Gould, good as gold.
Yes.
That's what I've called him for years.
Absolutely accurate.
Yeah. Jimmy Ward, I hate he's gone. I hear that they let go of Al Shire, too.
Yep.
Wow.
It was between him and Dre. They made up their mind last year. And Dre had a great season, too.
Oh, you mean Drake Greenlaw?
Yep.
Doesn't he have a bit of a injury issue?
Well, he did. Last year, he survived the whole season. That's a good point. But the 49ers were looking at the two of them, and whichever one showed the most, I guess they were going to make it. They looked like they made up their mind. They signed Drake kind of quick. So, Alshar got hurt a couple of times, too. But Donald, I'm trying to think of a player we have on this team that never gets hurt. We got rid of him. Remember DeForest Buckner? Never got hurt.
And he's gone now. I don't like the way Kyle does things. It's something about Kyle that rubs me the wrong way. I'm telling you.
Well, he's got that look on his face on the sideline that makes you mad. There's something about Kyle's look on the sideline. Kyle, you guys should have got that worked out before the game started. What made him do that? That was the silliest thing I've ever seen anybody do. Because
it's pride. He's full of pride. You can't tell him nothing. For me, he's a legacy baby.
Well, he's a good coach. I mean, he does X's and O's.
Everything. I don't know why they would try to, what's his name? A-Rod here. And then I heard they was trying to get Baker Mayfield.
Don't take that seriously. I don't think they're trying to get Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield, he goes against everything the 49ers believe in. He doesn't have a locker room presence. He come in being disruptive, saying and doing things that are going to cause animosity. You don't want that kind of presence in the locker room. If Baker Mayfield comes in and they can't get an understanding, he's got to sign a paper. The minute we see you causing any ripples in the locker room, you're gone. I'm cutting you that moment. So you're going to sign right here for that or what? He needs to learn to behave. Baker Mayfield's got too big of an ego. He thinks too much of himself. He thinks he's better than he is.
Yeah. And it's only room for one of them, and we got him as the head coach.
Kyle makes sure of that. That's why when people keep saying Tom Brady's coming to San Francisco, I said, y'all better realize, hey, Tom Brady and Kyle Shanahan will never be in the same locker room playing for the same team.
Like oil and vinegar.
Yep. Second half.
Like oil and vinegar. But the good news is, I guess we have our core players. What I'm wondering is what they're going to do as far as, I know the draft is a ways away, but I've looked at the combine. I know the players they've spoken to, as possibilities, but it's no guarantee they're going to get the ones that they want.
No, of course not. In fact, they should stop telling people who they've been looking at, because other teams like the Rams, if they can, Hawks, Cardinals, anything bad in the division, will try to get those players before we do, because they may think our system is very good and we know how to pick out players. Okay, the 49ers like him. Let's put him on our list right now. Why don't you guys do your own work? Yeah.
I saw it's a good kicker, Moody. I wish we could get him.
Yeah, everybody's going to be after Moody. They may usually wait till 4th or 5th round for a kicker. Watch somebody pick him up in the 2nd or 3rd round. 49ers want Moody. We're going to get him right now.
And then D'Amico's gone. I'm worried about this Wilkes. I've heard good stuff about him, but you don't know until the team comes out and starts playing. Then you know the difference. They went from I forget his name, bald head, can't think of him. Of course, D'Amico's bald too.
Oh, you talking about Robert Saleh?
Yes, Saleh. They went from Saleh to Ryans and now Wilkes. So
Wilkes is good, though. I think you can relax on him. Wilkes is very good. He should have been the head coach of the Carolina Panthers. I don't know what they were thinking, but Wilkes did a great job with the Panthers.
Oh wait, Rivalry Ron. He not with the Panthers no more, is he?
No, he's with the Commanders.
Right. You know, Detroit, they have a good team, but all I know is
Donna.
they do. They have good pieces now. They really the kind of pieces.
They're about to get better.
But 49ers, I'm a 49er fan, die hard. I'm not worried about anybody else in the NFC West because we're the best team, have been for some time.
Yep.
When you continually go to the NFC Championship, that should, be a foregone conclusion. Everybody felt sorry for the Rams, so they went ahead and let them have one.
Yep.
Notice I said one, and it'll be another 10 years before they get another one.
Yeah, well, maybe more.
But,
because they got a lot of they got to start from scratch. They don't have any draft picks. They traded them all away. In fact, you mentioned Detroit. Detroit's picking number 6 this year because of the Rams.
Are the Rams leaving? I mean, some of the Rams saying they want to leave.
They made it. They went public with that.
Oh, did they?
And Jalen Ramsey was thanking the Lord that the Rams wanted to trade him.
Oh, wow. He probably happy.
Jalen, funny. Oh.
You know what would be funny? If Jalen and Robbie Gould wound up on the same team because, they got the thing going. They just knock it on. That would be hilarious. They still be fighting on the same team.
Well, hey, but it can happen. You know why? Because remember Richard Sherman and Trent Williams years ago. Remember, Rich was talking some kind of trash, and Williams took that huge hand connected to that huge arm and slapped the taste out of Richard's mouth. I don't know what made Richard think he'd get right in Trent's face. He slapped Richard so hard.
That.
Yeah, that was a long time.
I remember that.
And they got a lot. They buried the hatchet. Though when Trent came to San Francisco, and then Rich went over to a big smile on his face. We gonna put down the differences. Go ahead and win this.
Ronbo, my mom says hello, Niners family.
Hey, Mom. Yeah,
she said, "Hey, Mammy Sappers."
Because see, that's why I say you gotta. Jalen Ramsey and Robbie.
She says she likes the sound of your voice. It's hot. Okay, Ma, it's time for you to go. You misbehaving.
Shucks, thanks, Mom. Yeah, so anything can work out. Well, I'm trying to think of some players that. Oh, can you imagine Baker Mayfield though? Coming to San Francisco, people can talk about Baker Mayfield and Nick walking through the locker room. I can see Nick now in that voice of his. All right, you're in here, and I've got to play with you, but I swear to God, you say one word to me, and I'll just forget all about we are supposed to be on the same team.
He's going to plant a flag on him. What's he going to do? He's going to impale him. He better leave him alone. No, I don't know. I don't know. What is it about Baker? His career just went left, and it hasn't found its way back to center yet, to me.
If you're number 1 pick, the number 1 overall pick, a lot is expected of you, and you need to stop talking. Baker's been talking ever since he came into the NFL from day one. You're a rookie, Baker. I mean, you haven't established yourself as anybody special yet. Yet you're in here running the team and suggesting what coaches you'd like to see fired and things like that. This is your first year.
Oh, wow.
Be quiet,
so
Baker.
He's full of himself.
Yeah. He's been talking.
Is he the one that came out and got drafted talking about show me the money?
No, you talk about money. That's the other. He was worse. He actually couldn't play. Baker Mayfield can actually play a little bit. Who is it? Money what? I forgot his name. He didn't last long. He's the reason why Kyle left Cleveland.
Oh. I understand. So we need a kicker. We got to shore up. We need somebody to stuff that middle. Why did they get rid of, what's his name? Johnson. Was it Jones or KJ Jones or something like that?
What team are we talking about?
AJ Jones. Was that his name? He was with us before they came.
Wait a minute. I mean, are you wide receiver? AJ Jenkins?
No. He was, I think, on the D-line or O-line.
Oh, DJ.
He's a big guy.
DJ Jones.
Yeah, DJ.
Yeah, again, saving money. They got Javon Kinlaw. The same reason why they got rid of Tomlinson is because they drafted Aaron Banks. What the 49ers are trying to do is they're trying to run that model where we draft a player in order when we see a contract about to expire, we see if we can get better, and then when that player's time comes, we don't have to renew his contract. In theory, that should work. But Javon Kinlaw has came in, and he is not DJ Jones. And I don't know what we'd expect next year. So, yeah.
And so they
Manziel. Money Manziel. That's him. That was the guy in Cleveland.
And he is a drug addict.
Yeah, a lot of other things, too. He abuses women.
A meth head for real.
Manziel looks like it. He never used to like to practice. He was, you're right. I think he was on something. You can't come in the NFL thinking you don't need to work.
He's still on it. He looks, man, he got them open wounds on his face. He
got that drug addict look, I know. It probably is Crystal.
Help him, Papa. Yes, indeed. So my mama like you had to keep out the room when I'm talking to you.
So, Mom, we got to go, little fam.
I told her, get out of my room.
Give my love back to Mom.
So,
we're gonna go down the bell. I'm gonna get out of here, and I'm gonna see you middle week. Okay? Bring moms, please.
You know it. Love you all. God bless you. Bang bang Niner gang. Sorry, NFC West. Those other than the Niners. You're unimportant. Okay. God bless you all. Good night.
Night down the bell. Oh God. See, yeah, we got to start. He used to be turned the other cheek with the Rams. No, we didn't. We've always been talking back to him about. We got to pick it up though. We got no room to talk about nothing. Hey, Merrick.
Hey, Ronbo.
Merrick, we're now watching one of the greatest kickers we've ever had. He's leaving, and we got to find another kicker to add to things to be concerned about in 2023. So, when we see that guy running out on the field, 49ers could wrap this game up with a walk-off if indeed the clock ticked down to 2 seconds. And here comes blah, blah. Out on the field, 49ers are, this year he's 1 for 3, and the 49ers are trying to groom him to be the next Robbie Gould. As soon as they say that, I'm going to lose my mind, I said, God, no, he's not going to be the next Robbie Gould. You should have kept Robbie Gould one more year on a one-year deal. See, because this team is ready to win now, Merrick. I don't have time to train people. Whoever they get in here better be good. But, your thoughts on the Robbie Gould exit. I mean, you may support it, actually. I don't know. I'm just out of line echoing my feelings on that. But what do you think?
Well, I don't support it, but not leaving. If he did cost us that kid regular Raiders, we had to go to overtime.
Yeah, we do need money in that. And Robbie gets he's taken off a couple of years. Did he get hurt this year?
Robbie's clutch in the playoffs.
I know, right? I wish we could just keep Robbie in the refrigerator
in the regular season. He's like, because I think this year he was on 24th in kicking percentage. He was 84% on field goals.
Yeah. Okay, but Merrick, I need to at least see those numbers next year. At least, I mean, I'll give this rookie a year, but don't drop below standard, way below. You got to come. You got to give me 80% or 90% on those things that Robbie got 80-something% on.
Yeah, I didn't get a good kicker in the draft in the later rounds, so.
Yeah, well, that's usually when people pick up kickers. But Moody, Dunn. Guys have already made a name for themselves. I could see people taking those guys just because if I got several third round picks or second round picks, if I'm any other team, I do go get what I need, but the Rams don't have any picks. We don't really have to worry about a kicker. You're right. There's no team that feels threatened by the 49ers that's concerned about our kicker. I just realized you're probably right. There's no need to be concerned about us getting a kicker that we want.
And another thing is you want us to be scoring touchdowns. You don't want us to be kicking 3 points every time.
No, but you're going to come to those games. It'd be nice if you could outscore your opponent by 14 to 21 points every week. But Merrick, realistically, is that really doable? you still need a good kicker because we watch the
I think for the
Cowboys.
talent we have, I think it's doable.
Well, you watch the Cowboys. They had one of the best rated offenses in the league last year. You watch Kansas City. There's going to come that day when a defense is up to the challenge. You better have a kicker. I don't know but you don't know when that day is going to be. So if you're depending on your offense to just wipe a team out every week, don't
think we should be spending a ton of money on it. We have a lot of other issues we need to worry about first.
Well, then is that true? Then that's what the 49ers are thinking too. But get somebody who's serviceable. The kicker doesn't have to be Robbie Gould, but he'd better be reliable to some degree.
As for some other free agents, this will probably be a hot take, but I wouldn't be opposed to letting some people walk like Jimmy Ward and stuff, because unfortunately our current roster just can't seem to cut it, whether it's injuries or other happening, and sometimes in order to make to make changes.
Who? Is that?
I was saying I wouldn't be opposed if we did let some walk like Jimmy Ward and stuff.
Oh well, no, Jimmy is gone, pretty much. He's not going to play. He's already let him know he doesn't feel like he wants to play the slot. But now you need to be concerned though. Are we going to be as efficient in the slot? Jimmy Ward was solid in both safety and the slot. So can you find people? Gibson's going to do okay. I'm not worried about him. But this league now, as much as people talk about deep passes, this league pretty much even Patrick Mahomes is throwing intermediate and short passes frequently. So guys are coming out of slot for that. So it's going to be interesting to see.
What do you think of Demo being our slot guy?
Yeah. Man, so we'll see.
If you re-sign, you could have Mooney, Ward, Mosley, and then Demo as your nickel corner.
Yeah, I'm a Demo fan, though. I've got nothing bad to say about Demo. He impressed me last year. I wish Ambry Thomas would come around. We'll find out.
As for our quarterbacks, I wouldn't honestly be opposed to signing Baker Mayfield because he'll be a backup. We know that. And
will he know that?
I don't know.
Baker Mayfield will come and say,
"Listen." He would be okay with being a backup.
But he'll come and say, "Listen, I don't mind joining you guys, but listen, can I compete? Compete for what? Well, I'm not. I'd like to start if I win the job. Is that possible? I can see Baker. I know he's going to do that. Baker Mayfield's got how old is Baker? 26, 27? Baker Mayfield was picked number 1 in the draft a few years ago. So if anybody thinks Baker Mayfield's going to come sit quietly on the 49ers bench, think again. That ain't happening. The 49ers are going to have that conversation with him maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I think our quarterback position should be a competition.
Yeah.
I don't think we should just hand it to Trey or even
Brock. Well, you said you said backup, and that's why I said he's not coming in to be a backup. If Baker Mayfield comes to San Francisco, Baker's coming to compete for that starter spot.
I know.
And then he can get paid big bucks. Because Baker probably still thinks he got cheated on his payday. Oh, yeah. Baker could go. Baker, how about the Hawks for Baker? The Hawks, they've got a high draft round pick this year.
I think that Drew Lock is okay with their quarterback situation for now.
Yeah. Well, they talked about Geno, but I don't think they're going to redo that. They may have looked at some of the quarterbacks in the draft this year and decided, well, we're going to have to revisit that thought that we had about re-signing Geno. Yeah. Because they're probably looking at Bryce Harper as the next big thing. The guy, number 2, Stroud, something like that.
Stroud.
Yeah. Yeah, those guys are going to get a position in the NFL for sure. I don't know where they're going to get it, but which team's going to get them. But somebody's going to trade with Chicago to get that number 1 pick between Bryce and I think is his name Stroud. It's one of the other. They'll be 1-2 picks probably.
Yeah, for quarterback needy teams.
Yeah. Yeah. So. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
Ronbo, do you see us trying to trade into the first or second round with all our picks?
Well, you're not getting in the first round unless you're going to have a first-round pick for next year and a couple of thirds, because we got lots of those this year. So I don't see that possibly happening. I think the 49ers are going to be
We
real.
got a first-round pick.
We first-round pick. We only got third-round picks, fam. Anyway, Merrick? It looks like we ran out of time. Okay, Merrick. I'll see you midweek.
We got a first-round pick, man.
We got a first-round pick.
Anderson,
where did we get a first-round? Do we have a first-round pick?
Yeah. Oh, I'm still on. I thought you needed to take things.
No.
I'll go Tyler.
First, Anderson, we don't have a first. Anyway, Merrick, we're gonna go. I'll see you midweek. Okay. Always appreciate you.
All right.
All right, man. Have a great night. And hey. Yo, KC.
Oh, I ain't even call.
Anderson, hold on, Anderson. Hold on. Hey, because we got you coming up next. Hey, Casey.
What's up, Ronbo?
Casey, I'm shaking for I don't know what to anticipate this year. Last year, I was concerned a little bit. This year, I'm concerned a lot. Casey, I don't want us to go back into the darkness with Aaron Rodgers. I'm thinking, man, a lot of changes taking place here. Way too many for me. Especially
What do you mean with Aaron Rodgers? Did they get Aaron Rodgers?
No, he's come out of the retreat. No, I said into the darkness. You know, Aaron with the darkness retreat.
Retreat, yeah.
He's
yeah.
emerged
Oh,
from the
I heard
darkness.
something about that.
Yeah, and he's still
Didn't
confused.
he do like a 4-day? He did a 4-day
sitting in the dark
thing or something.
Yeah.
Well, Ronbo, I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about the San Francisco 49ers.
I'm talking about your favorite guy, Robbie Gould.
Yeah, man. Something happened today that made me have to call in, Ronbo, and
what?
I would just like to, have a moment of silence here.
Okay. For what?
All right, that's enough. And for Robbie Gould, and and for a moment of silence for punting at the 37-yard line. Hopefully, we never see that ever happen again.
But Casey, I just need Robbie for field goals. I wish they would have had Mitch Wisnowski kitchen that, but they said Mitch was starting to feel leg fatigue, so they didn't want him kicking all the punts and punting and kicking.
Ronbo, all jokes aside, Robbie is a hell of a football player. Not just a kicker. He's a hell of a football player, and he's made some great kicks for us. And I wish him the best wherever he goes.
29 playoffs. That's amazing.
I know, man. I just want to have a kicker that can hit 60.
Well, you shouldn't be in that position. 60-yard field. I've seen that happen a couple of times. The 49ers I think our offense is pretty good, though. I don't think that'll always be an issue. As long as you got Christian McCaffrey and Debo and George, you're probably going to be.
Kick it.
Huh? Who? McCaffrey?
You should let Christian kick it. I bet Christian could kick a field goal. First player ever to run, pass, catch, and kick a field goal.
They got that competition every year for kids. Christian took it right into adulthood. The PPK,
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to another year. Christian McCaffrey, Ronbo. Holy cow, man.
Isn't he fun?
Yeah, Niners are going to be fine, man.
Yeah.
They're going to be fine.
We just need a quarterback to stay upright all year long is the thing. Can we get a quarterback to last for the entire season?
Yeah.
We never do.
Yeah. Something about that Levi's curse, man. Just when you think it's gone,
it reemerges, eats up another quarterback.
Yeah, gets up just like the Undertaker.
Mm-hmm. And takes us down again.
Mm.
4 quarterbacks. This is a record year, though, Case. 4 quarterbacks ended up zapped. Good.
Yeah.
God. That's amazing.
Do you think they're going to keep Juice next year? Is Juice back next
Yeah,
year?
I think there's more time left on his contract, I think.
Yeah. Then they got Jordan Mason coming back, and
he'd be a restricted free agent no matter what. Anyway, he's a UDFA. So
and Elijah will be back, right?
I hope so. If he doesn't get hurt in the offseason, Elijah Mitchell. My God, Elijah, you got that Jimmy G disease, you're a great player, but you're not going to stay on the field.
Yeah, there's definitely some questions, especially they got to fill the secondary with, Jimmy Ward probably not coming back, which is okay with me, Ronbo.
How come? Why? Jimmy Ward is going to be hard.
Because, man, he's always like putting out bad energy about who he wants to like hit. Just
and firing him up and getting them all
fouls,
inspired.
The untimely personal fouls. I mean, I miss the energy,
I agree. That shot on OBJ during that game. See, that's up to the Rams. Got the perfect scenario. I got Klosky T out there dropping INTs that could have turned the momentum of the game. I got Jimmy after OBJ's down the field, tack on 15 more yards because you took a shot at him because you're still pissed off about what happened during the regular season. Jimmy.
Yeah. I always liked Klosky Tart because he reminded me of that Key and Peele College Bowl, with all the crazy names. It was Klosky Tart, Stanford. I thought that just sounded like you got to get Klosky, man. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, Those
I still don't go too hard on him, man.
No, he'll be okay. Jimmy's gonna be okay. Yeah. I figured he'll end up in with Robert Saleh or McDaniel. Yeah. There's maybe a chance he ends up in Texas.
Are we going another year with just the Montana fathead or what?
I don't know. I gotta wait to. I'm thinking about putting Jerry Rice up there. It's gonna have to be a Hall of Famer. I'm not switching this all the time anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and get Rice.
Still waiting on news. You're still waiting on news about Frank before you make that decision.
No. You Frank Gore. Well, you heard about the situation, right? I've not heard anything more about that. I wonder why.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, that's Frank.
He just made a post on Instagram the other day, and it was a bottle of Hennessy.
Frank, the last guy I thought would attack women. I can't stand that.
I know. He just decided to quit the NFL and start hitting people, huh?
Yeah. Well, Frank, you're a tough guy. You've been boxing. You got guys. Set up some matches.
Man.
Don't hurt ladies.
Ronbo, I swear to God, if that stops Frank from getting into the Hall of Fame somehow, oh my God, Ronbo.
Yeah, you know it is.
Man.
They're gonna look at that. Frank had a domestic violence. We never got the final results on that. So I can't, with any good conscience, sign off on saying yes. So because they look for any excuse. You need to be absolutely pure in the Hall of Fame.
Wouldn't that be something if Tom Brady just hit a woman after?
I laughed at the insinuation of such, but it's not funny. Casey, don't make me laugh like that.
It's not funny, but. Just imagine that Tom Brady can't get in the Hall of Fame is funny.
That is funny. I just see the cops sitting there.
Man.
Tom, listen, I'm a huge fan. Why did you do that? Listen, Tom, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put on the report that she hit you first, okay? Can you see the cop being a huge Tom Brady fan and letting him get off on it? Man. Still, no, even if she hit you first, you still have no business smacking a lady.
Yeah, so you would have to do something really terrible to not get in the Hall of Fame.
God. Maybe run out in the middle of the park and be a flasher.
I'm just glad he's not in the NFL anymore, Ronbo. One of my earliest football memories is my dad rooting for the Patriots because he didn't want the Rams to win the Super Bowl.
Hey, your dad not appreciate the Rams either? That's hilarious.
Yeah, we were tired of watching the Rams, and my dad was, I'm rooting for the Patriots this year. I'll never forget it. Oh, man.
Well, all I know is we're going to have to get another kicker. And how that works out. And as I said, I don't want to have to face palm myself to death all season long because as we're sitting there, guys, we're going to lose this point. We're going to lose this game by 3 points. Remember that? I told you back in March. Remember I said if we get a field goal that misses, there's going to be those games where it's nip and tuck all the way for 4 quarters. And at the end of the game, he's going to miss one, and all we're going to lose by is 1 point. Why? Because we missed that 1 3-pointer, and now we're going to lose by 1 freaking point. And people told me, all we got to do is score a lot of points. It's not that easy. Not every week.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hopefully there's
quick fix they can find. There's a lot of people that can swing a leg, Ronbo.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of kids. There's a lot of names that people are looking at already as being the heir apparent. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll find out.
Yeah. Well, Ronbo, it's a pleasure to talk to you, man, on this
case.
On this Sunday evening. My man, the Reverend Ronbo, holding it down.
Hold the Church of Red and Gold.
Well, we have all this to talk about in the first week of March. Here we are, preparing.
I didn't see Robbie leaving. Hey, Case, honest, before you go, did you see Robbie getting cut this year? I didn't see that coming. That's why I'm kind of.
He got cut?
Not yet. I mean, he's not getting re-signed. Put it that way.
Oh yeah.
I thought the 49ers would pick him up. I didn't know.
Who knows, man? Maybe he just wants to go hold out for $5 or $10 million somewhere else.
Well, he's going to. Maybe he's gonna go back toward his home in Chicago, be with his family, and hopefully sign a little more money. But I just didn't see.
Oh, Rob, wouldn't that be crazy if we have to play against him and he kicks the winning field goal and man, it's championship or something next year? Oh my God, Rob!
Casey, you know what's coming, man. I already know. And that's why I said, I don't need Robbie Gould on another team, man. I mean, I see him and Jimmy on the same team. Garoppolo's having a banner night, right? Doing everything he wants to do. Robbie Gould's coming in and laying it on thick. And we're sitting in the fourth quarter saying, I thought they were supposed to go to AFC. What the hell is this? Man, and it's Jimmy Ward on the same team, right? I just, what is this? All the 49ers alma mater coming back and kicking our ass. Damn it. It's not going to happen, Case. This is all science fiction. Never going to happen, all right?
I know.
Let's look forward to a good season.
We're going to lose to the Texans and the Dolphins next year. Just watch.
With one of those guys we just mentioned. Man. All right, Case. I'll see you middle week if you got time. Because I know you love the special teams guys. That's why you're here today. This is kind of early for Case.
Yeah, I know, man. I only had to wait 24 minutes this time. It was awesome.
All right, Case. See you midweek.
All right,
night. It's one of those guys is going to get us. One of them's going to get us. I just know it. Hey, Anderson.
What's going on, Ronbo, man?
Anderson, man, we're sitting up here crying. Not everybody's crying. Some people, Anderson, some people don't have a problem with Robbie leaving. But I like, how many games you watch, Anderson, and you're sitting up here laughing like the Dallas Cowboys and Anderson? You can see them all the time. The Dallas Cowboys kicker went in there and had Dak saying bad words on the sideline. And Dak didn't know the camera was on him. But the kicker just missed his third or fourth kick.
To the ocean. To the ocean. But yeah, we got a first round pick. I don't know where in the first round, but we got one. I seen it on the NFL Network when they had everybody drafts.
Anderson,
picks we had a first round. We had
Anderson, you on speaker? Because I'm having trouble. We're having trouble hearing you. You sound.
Oh, my bad. You hear me now?
That's a little better now. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Now tell me more about this first round draft pick.
Yeah, I seen it on NFL Network when I was watching a little highlights of something, and they showed the 49ers draft, and we had a first round, had 3 third rounds or something. I can't remember the rest, but we got a lot of picks. It surprised me we had a first round. I was like, damn, we do got a first round.
Well, now see that, Anderson, that's news. If we have a first round pick, we had to trade for somebody. Because Anderson, well, you know what? I ain't gonna say. Maybe something happened since I came in here and sat down. We didn't have a first round.
It was then we get it. We ain't getting no complimentary picks from for D'Amico or for what?
Well, we got compensatory picks, but they're not first round.
I know, I seen the first round, but oh well, we let Jimmy Ward walk. They let Jimmy Ward go.
Not yet. But it doesn't look good.
Quit playing games.
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
So we're gonna cause E-Man coming back.
Yeah.
And that crash. The defense gonna be how it should have been, but the defense still was number one. But either way it goes. Man, I like the draft picks. If we get a quarterback, I want to get Anderson, man.
Everybody
I
wants
want to get
Anderson.
Richard Anderson.
That monster's going to be picked up. They're talking about Bryce and Stroud, but watch Anderson go first, or the guy you just mentioned. Watch him go first.
I think the Lions might get him. The Lions might take him.
The Lions are probably going to get something else because I think they like Jared Goff. The Lions did a good job last year. They got the number 6 pick. Then they go out and get what do they really, really need? They might get a quarterback, though. Maybe.
Same thing like us, offensive line.
Like everybody else. I'm trying to think of a team that has a great offensive line, Anderson, that doesn't need any help.
Sure.
Kansas City Chiefs look pretty good offensive line.
Because everybody,
Chiefs look pretty good offensive line, I think.
Yeah, I was thinking about the Chiefs. When you said that.
The Raiders' offensive line, surprisingly, is not bad.
Yeah, because they stopped it. We ain't getting no sacks.
Couldn't even get close.
But you know what? But shit, Kinlaw, man, I think he's gonna have a good year. He should.
I hope so.
He ain't finished the year with no injuries, so he ought to come back good. He have a healthy ass off-season training, a good ass training camp. He ought to be good. We need to get all these training camp injuries, these non-contact injuries. That shit need to stop. I don't know what's going on with the trainers. They need to stop. And Kyle Shanahan, I'm tired of that dummy. I'm still tired of that dummy. Rob, man, Jordan Mason, man, let him run the ball. I'm still fucked up about that. 4th and 2, you let McCaffrey run the ball and they stopped him. Come on, man. You should let Mason run it. He punched it right through them.
I want either Mason or a Juice. I need somebody with some beef to run up through there. Well, Kyle, you know better. You've been around this game how long? You want your heavy dude to go through there, and he should be running behind Trent Williams.
You saw. He was there when they won the Super Bowl. He was there when they won the first Super Bowl as a child. He ought to have that excitement in him every time he touched the field. Like, man, we gonna do this. I want that same feeling I had when I was a child, man. I want another ring. I want to see another Super Bowl. Yeah. Well, I don't know what's wrong with that dude.
Well, the funny thing about Kyle is he'll explain it to you after they get in press conferences. He's always explaining why he did what he did, and ends it with, I'd run that same play again. You know what? That's what bothers you about Kyle. He rarely admits that he made a bad call. He does on occasion, though.
Yeah. No accountability. That dude crazy. No accountability. But it's all good though. He gonna come to his senses. You know what I'm saying? But cause this season, I think he's gonna go all out. That's what we need to go all tonight. I'm trying to see some people on some other teams get hurt. We ain't supposed to wish on about it, but fuck that. I'm tired of seeing us get hurt from nothing.
Every year.
You know what I'm saying? It's time for us. It's time for our defenders to hurt some people, man. I want some quarterbacks hurt, some running backs. Hell, possibly, fuck it. Let's just hurt the coach too. He ought to get hurt too. Like Pete Carroll, like Pete Carroll, they chewing that bubblegum. That bubblegum wasn't chewing when we beat their ass this year, such a home. But
especially if you got a runner running toward the coach, hit that runner, man. And the coach go all the way out of bounds with him. Yeah.
And they had some good prospect receivers in the draft too, some nice ones. But the offensive lineman I seen, man, that's where we need to go. We need to get two big dudes. They was running how they was doing the little drills when they came up to the X and they was crossing each other and running through. Oh man, they was running their ass off. We got some good running, some good pulling, guard or whatever on tackle. That's what we need to get.
Exactly, especially when we like to run the ball.
Yeah. We need to do what we need to do. We need to get some offensive linemen and shit. If that's the case, man, if push comes to shove, we got to get another safety. We got to get us another safety, a good one. Because Sean Gibson, he's good at things, but at the same time, I mean, you had Jimmy Ward back then, then you had some old people, so that's not, you know what I'm saying, we're really the defensive line created a lot of havoc. So that's probably why you got some interceptions. But Yamandor Lamar, he came through. how was I pushing for down? But I kept telling him, just keep messing with him. He's gonna come to. He's gonna get back to his ability, and he got back to that, against Cowboys, them bitches. But
it's my biggest surprise. I love it.
And Ambry Thomas, I don't know what's wrong with him, but he need to get himself right because I think he can play that slot. That nickel slot.
Ambry can play outside too. Ambry Thomas, do you know he's a 4-3 runner? I don't know what happened to Ambry Thomas in the offseason, but he needs to lay on that sofa and have a good conversation with a therapist and get himself back into the game of football.
Yep.
Something else is going on in his life that nobody's talking about. But he's better than that.
Yeah, he's better than that. And then Trey Lance, I think Trey Lance he's gonna have a good ass season. He's gonna have a good season because remember Trey Lance with McCaffrey back there. Oh man, that what it is? I forgot the triple option and stuff. Oh man, they should be there.
Yeah, it's a thing. But he's got to also develop an intermediate and short passing game too. That's Kyle Shanahan's offense. With the players we got, you got to be able to unload to Debo and McCaffrey and Kittle and anybody else coming in the backfield. If that big pass is there, you take it. But you got to be able to hit those guys as they're coming off the line of scrimmage.
He can hit Ayuk. He can hit Ayuk downfield.
Yeah, but he's got to do more than that.
He did it. Yeah, he I remember him 2 games he hit Ayuk downfield twice. You know what I'm saying? So him and Ayuk, they kind of already got a little chemistry. He just got to build up with the rest.
Well, it's funny because Ayuk is already campaigning for Brock Purdy. It was really funny because I remember he was a huge Trey Lance supporter.
Oh
yeah. Yeah, he's
yeah.
That's why, we just got to get one of those guys. I don't, either one. If you can get the job done, get the job done. Just stay on the field for 17 weeks is all I want, Because we lose games behind those injuries.
And I need that, and I don't know what's going on with Danny Gray, but say, man, I need you to stretch that field because Trey Lance going to get you that ball, man. Trey Lance going to bomb the ball because that's what that dude want to do. He want to throw the ball downfield.
Danny Gray. Danny better learn how to block. I got a feeling that's what it is with Danny Gray. Because
I think so too. So too.
Because you know how Kyle is. You don't block, you don't play. Yep. So,
that's it around. But that's all I got for tonight. Shout out to the Empire. Shout out to everybody that called in. And shout out to you, Ronbo. Shout out to my boy Steve and Jay, man.
Hey, appreciate you, Anderson. Always great to hear from you. And because Anderson's, by the way, if people don't know, Anderson's our man in Texas. As you can tell, the way Anderson doesn't take any respect from, does not take no stuff off no Cowboys. I love it.
No, I don't like them Cowboys. Matter of fact, my homegirl sitting on the side of me, she's a Cowboy fan. She's been on this mouth the whole time. I'm glad she ain't saying that.
You and me got a similar problem. My sister's a Raider fan, and we don't talk football.
Yeah. Going down though this year. Ain't nothing but the promised land for us. Man, we going through with it. All that nigga to talk a lot of college show with, keep it to yourself, man. You don't want to hear that. Call in with the positive information, positive news. 49er football for life. Peace, and I'm out.
All right. Man, Anderson. If Anderson's out, I think I'm going to take off as well. Anyway, I'll be back midweek. Let's see. I guess as Tony pointed out, the free agent rumors are going to start floating, if they haven't already, probably right around the end of this week and into the next. No, I can tell you right now, before they put that out there, Lamar Jackson is not coming to San Francisco. We got people who bite on that, too. Any name, Aaron Rodgers, $60 million. Lamar Jackson, money's TBD, to be determined. It'll be north of $50 million. You might get more than Aaron Rodgers, because he's not settling for anything less. Who else is out there? The return of Tom Brady. Who else could we possibly see? Because whether we need a quarterback or not, we're always involved with the quarterback derby. Let's see. Where else should we? Offensive linemen? See, because the 49ers have made it clear we don't have any extra money. But you know what? They say this. They've said this for the last 3 years, and all of a sudden I'm looking at Christian McCaffrey. Of course, we didn't have to pay him right away, but we'll see. I bet the 49ers do make a play for somebody. Can't imagine who. We'll find out. I'll be looking for you for that conversation a little later, fam. Meanwhile, have a great week. Talk to you shortly. Hit that like, please. I like those. I'm like Kyle Shanahan. My ego needs stroking. Subscribe, fam. I'm just kidding. And appreciate the donations, fam. Always appreciated. And I will get with Brian. If you want to buy some Ronbo goodies, I'll tell you I can do that. I got to get more information on that. All right. Niners! God, I love doing that. Hopkins?